This is the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
I told Jack in the car, like, do you know what the word of the year is? He goes, what? I said it's 6'7". He just laughed.
I know.
It just means nothing, and that's fantastic that it's now the word of the year. What a country.
Can we bring back cool story, bro? That way, like, us millennials can be like, yeah, cool story, bro. I would love that.
The Adam Gold Show. That's right. Although, you can probably tell just from that intro, I'm not Adam Gold. Tim Donnelly here, sitting in for Adam Gold today, sitting in for Victoria Max Gorin, producing the show today. So you're getting the shift change, if you will. To talking Adam, you got to go straight to the hockey stuff or soccer. Right? We've used up a couple of our substitutions. Either way, NC State had a crazy one last night. The Canes are in the middle of a little break here between a Tuesday and a Friday game, and we're excited to bring you the Adam Gold Show. And, I mean, you know what we got to do. We got to get it started.
Let's get it started. Ha! Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Ha! Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
So NC State basketball, they know how to steal a spotlight, don't they? They know how to attract all eyeballs on the Wolfpack, don't they? At least Will Wade does. They beat UNCG. They beat UNC Greensboro last night. That's not the story, right? We could go into, and we will go into, final score 110-64, right? Some great performances by some really good players for NC State. Darian Williams, the big money, big reputation transfer chief amongst them. But the Red Reckoning, as Will Wade has termed it, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness. If they're just going to score 100-plus points every single game, it's going to be a very fun season this year for NC State.
106 points per game through 3. Are you a Game of Thrones fan, Max?
I've watched maybe one episode, one or two.
I'm not either, but I do. Like, I lived through the phenomena when everybody was watching it. So spoiler alert, even though this is spoiler alert for something I haven't watched, so I don't know if I can spoil it. The Red Reckoning might be more like the Red Wedding. And the Red Wedding, for those of you that didn't watch Game of Thrones, just know that there was a bunch of unpredictable stuff that happened. And if you did watch it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The Red Reckoning, as Will Wade has dubbed it, similarities to the Red Wedding. And what I mean by that is be prepared for anything, be prepared for everything, and be prepared for no mercy. Be prepared for ruthlessness. Be prepared for goodness gracious. There have been technicals in all 3 games called on NC State. They've dominated all 3 games. They've won by a bunch. They've had technicals called when they're up 55. They've had technicals called in the first 5 minutes. They've had technicals that have come with an ejection. They've had technicals in every which way. They've played 3 games. 3 games. Last night, obviously, the most chaotic amongst them. Corey Smith, Pack Pride, tweeted this out. After Paul McNeil Jr. is fouled on a 3-pointer attempt, Trey Holloman and Kadir Copeland go to pick him up, and both were elbowed by Antoine Jones, obviously Jones being on UNCG. Teams had to be separated, with Copeland and Holloman willing to take on the entire UNCG bench before pumping up the crowd. Now, I can report that shortly after that, they went to the monitor to figure out what happened. The refs did, and Trey Holloman was ejected with a flagrant 2. The officials then told the pool report that he reached through and slapped an opposing player in the face. That was their terming. Reached through and slapped an opposing player in the face during that dust-up. So he was given a flagrant 2 and ejected. Kadir Copeland picked up a technical. And then they went on to win by $1 billion. And Paul McNeil, who was the player that got fouled to start it all, well, he went on to score his career high in points. And Darian Williams went on to score his career high in points. And they won by a bunch. That mentality is real. Now, for those of you that don't know, if you are in the Triangle, right, that particular part of North Carolina, I host an afternoon show that immediately follows the Adam Gold Show on our station, 99.9 The Fan. Yesterday, going into the game, I said I wanted to see what the hype was about NC State. I thought they had done well in their first 2 games. I thought, particularly in the opener, they brought some sizzle.
Yeah.
But we hadn't seen what I would consider juggernaut stuff. We haven't.
You said they talked the talk, and now they need to walk the walk as this, potential contender in the ACC.
Last night was what was promised. They were brash. They were backing up their talk. They were really gosh darn good. And it's why certain coaches, and Will Wade is a good one, it's why certain coaches play up that us against the world mentality, because it was a ref show. And this might be an issue like the bigger part of college basketball here. The beginning of the year, I don't know if refs are trying to establish something, if they're sensing that control needs to be wrestled away from the players. The whistles are abundant. Whether it's a quick ejection, whether it's a game like UNC played against Radford where they had 80 free throws combined, 49 for UNC alone. There are a bunch of free throws in this one, a bunch of fouls called, especially in the first half in this one. And it's not just those 2 games. Those are just 2 examples that pop into my brain. It was a ref show. Right? That's usually a term reserved for umps. It's usually an ump show, right? When baseball, they want to get into all the theatrics, and every strikeout is that thing was 2 feet out of bounds, or 2 feet out of the zone. It was a ref show. Now, saying that, the reason why I bring it up is that plays into the us against the world mentality that NC State has, right? Of course we're not getting the calls. It's us against the world. Of course, we're at home against a group of 5 team. Of course we're not getting the calls. We have to overcome that because it's us against the world. It gives you a very A to B direct line response to anything that happens. Opposing team hits a shot, of course. Bad call, of course. Your veteran leader point guard that's played in 110 college basketball games crosses the line, so the refs think, and ejected early in the game, of course. NC State head coach Will Wade postgame talked about a statistical impossibility that they had to deal with yesterday. We have that audio for you right here.
Well, we played to the 5 standards. Like I said, the only one we didn't get was the free throws. So we wanted to make sure we didn't turn the ball over. We've been giving away efficiency points at the end of these games the last couple games, and so we wanted to be more steady and even with what we were doing. We dropped 3 spots after UAB lost to Alabama State last night because we gave up 23 points to UAB in the last 7 minutes, and so we were very cognizant of that and have been on point with that. And our defensive efficiency tonight was great, except for the fouling. I mean, that's the biggest statistical anomaly you'll ever see, when a team outscores another team 42-8 in the paint. You can go back 10 years and find stat sheets and won't find a team that outscores somebody 42-8 in the paint. Let's call it 30-plus points, and gets outshot 41-23 at the free throw line, 18 at the free throw line. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. And so, that kills your defensive efficiency. You're just walking them to the free throw line. Thank God they missed 10 free throws in the first half. Been a tie game if they hadn't missed all the free throws. But 42-8 in the paint and 41-23 at the free throw line is hard to overcome, and give our guys a lot of credit, for doing that. But statistically, it's impossible. You guys get to work on that and find me a game. I'm serious. Find me a game where the other team outscored the team by 34 in the paint, which is where all the fouls occur, and was outshot 18 at the free throw line. If you can find me a game in the last 10 years, I'll buy you dinner.
Will Wade firing shots. Here's how I describe NC State. You know that little voice in the back of your head that says something a little too aggressive? and then like the front of your brain goes, whoa, let's reel it in. Let's filter that. State doesn't have that filter. Darian Williams at ACC tip-off, right, in Charlotte. They ask him about the rivalry between UNC and NC State. He doesn't go full coach speak. He doesn't say, well, it's a great rivalry and I'm excited to participate in it and there's been great players on both sides. No, he goes, I don't like their coach. Because of how he's treated Van Allen Lubin and how he treated my teammate at Texas Tech. That's what Darian Williams said. My issue isn't with the rivalry, it's with him. And you can go look up those quotes. I'm paraphrasing, changing a little bit just because I don't have it, off book memory, but it's pretty darn accurate to what I just said. Will Wade, how do you feel about the free throws in that game? Not well. We have to control what we can control, and if we're not being physical enough down low, we're not getting the calls. That's something we're gonna have to work. No, he said it's a statistical impossibility.
Impossible.
I challenge you to go find a day like that in the last 10 years. I'll buy you dinner. And then they backed it up. That's key, and we're gonna hit on that throughout the show. Through 3 games, they're averaging 106 points, most in the ACC. They are doing it with an obvious brashness, but they're backing it up, which is important. Because there's a lot of teams throughout history in sports, and I'm sure you can think of some right now, you're all sports fans, that had the image, the reputation as being brash and or arrogant and or troublemakers. But then they'd win championships, or they'd win huge games, or they'd win, they'd have a section of a season, a 3-season, a 5-season window where they were really good. The key part there is they had the attitude and they had the talent to back it up. We'll see if State can do it once they get to their big boy games, once they get to their ACC, their better non-conference games. But 106 points, I don't care if you're in an empty gym. 106 points through 3 games, pretty good. Keep it moving here. You know who could use some attitude? Here on the Adam Gold Show, I'm Tim Donnelly sitting in for Adam. I'll tell you who could use some attitude. Bryce Young. Carolina Panthers quarterback Bryce Young. If I could give him anything, holiday season's coming up, right? If I could give him anything, someone might be like, a number 2 wide receiver? Oh,
please.
A new play caller? No. If I could give Bryce Young anything, it would be
A.J. Brown.
If I could give him anything, it would be, a Super Bowl or something. But if just come with me on this journey. I'm trying to make a point. If I could give Bryce Young anything, it would be like Jameis Winston's confidence. I want Bryce to have a healthy amount of bleep it. Because right now, I think there's a lot of people-pleasing going on. There's a lot of, I'm doing exactly what coach is asking me. There's a lot of, I'm coachable. If the play calls for a check down, I will check it down. If the play calls for a run, I will run it. If the play calls for this, I'm going to do it. Always be prepared. He's like a Boy Scout out there. And when I say like Jameis Winston's confidence, I don't mean the ridiculous out of left field plays. I mean yesterday. Actually, I'll let you guys in on a conversation I had yesterday. Mike Glennon, 10-year NFL quarterback, NC State quarterback. I was talking to him about Bryce Young. And I said, if Dave Canales isn't calling the plays downfield, and it's obvious that the Saints are selling out in different ways, sending certain blitzes. They're, at times stacking the box, not as often as some said, but they're obviously selling out to stop Rico Dowdle. Is there any chance Bryce could just go a little rogue? Not completely rogue, but, hey, the defense looks like they're going to stop this play, coach, so I checked it at the line. I'm going to give T-Mac a chance one-on-one on the outside. And Mike's response was kind of perfect, right? I put this to a quarterback that's been in that situation, right? He started in the NFL. He was back up for years and years. And he said, I don't think that's in Bryce's personality. He goes, Jameis Winston probably would, right? And Mike had played with Jameis in Tampa, so he would know. And I went, gosh, I wish that was something Bryce had. Because when you're a quarterback out there and you're dialing up another run play into another run blitz, and you're pre-snap and you're watching it going, you almost want to turn to Rico Dowdle and go, my bad, man. Like, this is going to hurt. Here you go. Boom. The Panthers, I think it's a confidence issue between play caller and quarterback. I think it's a plan B issue, meaning that plan A is defense and running the football, and when that doesn't work, they don't have something that they can go to. They don't have that plan B. If Rico Dowdle isn't dominating on offense, they don't have that counterpunch. But if I'm Bryce, the way I think about it is, if it keeps going like this, I'm going to lose my job anyway. All right, if it keeps going like this, they're going to go make a blockbuster trade for Mac Jones or Kyler Murray. They're going to draft Fernando Mendoza. I don't know, whoever falls to them in the draft. And I'm going to lose my job anyway. Do I want to own it and get into the play that I think will work and live or die by what I think will work? Or am I just going to keep sitting here being a good soldier, so to speak, and doing what they want me to do? Because right now everybody thinks you can't. You can't run a volume passing offense. You can't throw your way back into a game. You can't test teams downfield. If you think you can, prove it. I did some math earlier today, which is always dangerous, but I wrote it down, so I think I can trust it. Right now, Bryce is averaging 168 yards per game. Passing yards per game, Bryce Young, 168. If you times that by 17, the amount of games you have in a schedule, comes out to 2,856 yards. Now, some of you might go, well, that's not very much for a season, and you're right, it's not. It's so few that, excluding Bryce from last year, no quarterback that played in at least 14 games threw for that few passing yards. None. Zero. Like, if you played in 14, which means you could miss 3 games. If you played in at least 14 games, you threw for more yards than Bryce Young is on pace to throw for. But guess what? That doesn't necessarily mean there weren't other quarterbacks that played as poor as he's playing or threw for as few yards as he is. It's just that they don't make it to 14 games. If you're throwing for 168 yards per game, traditionally, you don't finish the season as your starting quarterback. That's what you're up against, Bryce. That's what you're up against. If you're looking next year and you're the backup to Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, right? Or if you're the backup to Daniel Jones in Indy, wherever you end up, if you're not a starting quarterback and you're looking back on your life, how did we get here, right? Pause. Bet you're wondering how I got here. What's going to be more regret-filled? I knew I should have been doing something else, but instead I listened to so-and-so. Or I grabbed the bull by the horns, I took some chances, I did what I thought was best, and it didn't work. I know which side I'd like to be on. Get a little attitude, Bryce. Get a little, what are you going to do, bench me? It's probably going to happen sooner than you'd like anyway, unless something changes. And finally, next here on Getting It Started. There it is. It's the Adam Gold Show, by the way. Tim Donnelly here sitting in for Adam today. Hopefully you'll give it a shot. Bill Belichick. I know Adam touched on this yesterday, but I think it's just, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Bill Belichick is focused on Wake Forest.
Yeah, getting ready for Wake Forest. That's all I got this week.
Has anyone asked you, or the players or recruits want to know about your future?
I've been asked about it from time to time, but yeah, I've been down this road before. I'm focused on Wake Forest. That's it. And that's my commitment to this team. And next week it'll be to our next opponent and so forth. But, I'm here to do the best I can for this team.
Bill Belichick is a lot of things, and we're going to talk about a bunch of them right now. Missed comedic timing. If there was ever a time to say, we're on to Wake Forest, and every question, we're on to Wake Forest, it could have been the new we're on to Cincinnati. He actually should have said we're on to Cincinnati. The comedic timing would have been perfect. Answer it once. I'm focused on Wake Forest, and that's it. And then we're on to Cincinnati. Would have been perfect. People tell me that he's really funny behind the scenes, right? He's gruff with the media, But with the team at practice and things, he's funny. I'm going to need to see some better comedic timing out of you, Bill. As of yesterday afternoon, which is the last time I checked, but I wasn't going to place the bet, so I was just checking for vibes. DraftKings Sportsbook gave Bill Belichick the second best odds of being the Giants' next head football coach. That's the New York Football Giants. Mike McCarthy was the shortest odds plus 700, then Belichick plus 750, John Gruden plus 800, Clint Kubiak, the Seattle offensive coordinator, plus 850, and Mike Kafka, the current interim for the Giants and their offensive coordinator, plus 900. Now, you just heard his answer, right? I'm focused on Wake Forest. That's it. I'm committed. Blah, blah, blah. You heard it. What? You know what I have to ask? What a month of good defense does for your reputation, huh?
Yeah, you went from potentially going to resign and give up your buyout to all of a sudden your name's in the NFL coaching circles again. 1
month of good defense, and look at that. The offense hasn't even been that good for Carolina, and I'm putting that generously. But 1 month of good defense against some not great ACC opponents outside of Virginia, and look at that. Now, I want to be on record with this, and I want everybody, the entire Adam Gold Show listening audience, to hear this. I highly, 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 highly doubt it's going to happen. We'll leave the door cracked because it wouldn't be the first time that something I thought was highly, highly, highly unlikely to happen involving Bill Belichick taking a job happened, because I thought it was highly, highly, highly unlikely he would be at North Carolina at all in the first place. But still, I don't think it's going to happen. No team in the NFL is giving him the type of control that I believe he wants, that he's had in his time at New England, especially towards the end, that he's had here in North Carolina. And I think the Giants, logically, are going to want someone that can grow with Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors on the offensive side of the football as their head coach. So Bill Belichick doesn't have the ability to grow with them because he's, touching on his mid-70s, and he's a defensive coach. So it just doesn't add up there. But two things. Just the fact that he's in the mix, that he's mentioned, that he's being asked about it, is a reminder of who Bill Belichick is. Bill Belichick is, like I said, many things. He is a tabloid fodder for his relationship. He is a classic foil to Tom Brady and legacy conversations. He is maybe the best coach the NFL has ever seen. And this is a reminder of that. No matter how bad it goes, there is still way more good on his coaching resume than bad. And he will always be an intriguing name to throw into a coaching search. Last point, I think it's good for recruiting. Obviously, the whole 33rd NFL team hasn't worked so far as they planned in Chapel Hill, but it's still a positive to know that a coach is thought of in that way in the NFL when a recruit is choosing where they want to go.
Well, they said 33rd NFL team, but they could be like the Browns or the Saints. They didn't necessarily mean that they were going to be like.
They said we're the Dan Snyder Washington.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think we can say it's completely inaccurate so far. And look, they've won a couple recently. They're up to 4-5 now.
I didn't say it's not true. I said it hasn't worked as they planned. But it is still just inherently a good thing to have this to counteract, right? When opposing teams are negatively recruiting, it happens. A little mudslinging, right? It happens behind closed doors. When they say, oh, Bill Belichick's lost it. Oh, Bill Belichick, that NFL stuff doesn't work, or he doesn't have it anymore. This is a good rebuttal. It's like, oh, the NFL doesn't respect me anymore. Did you see the Giants? Now, I'm not taking it, but I didn't see anyone else's coach from college pop up on that list, did they? It's just a good, quick, NFL still wants me, still cares about me. They still know who I am way more than they know about the other college coaches that you're interviewing. Why? Because I got a few Super Bowls.
Just a couple.
I got enough to fill more than one hand with. Which is absurd. And I do think people need to be reminded of that occasionally. I will say Wake Forest is a different beast than Stanford and Syracuse, which is who they beat back-to-back. And their schedule gets harder from here. But, man, has a lot changed in a month for Carolina and Bill Belichick. This is the Adam Gold Show. You can follow along on 99.9 The Fan, our app. This one live streams there. You can also check us out on YouTube. 99.9 The Fan is the YouTube channel for a ton of coverage from Adam Gold, Kane's Corners podcast, this show, and much, much more. This is going to be a fun one. I'm Tim Donnelly, Max Gorin here along for the ride as well. We need to talk about two guys that lit up the college basketball world yesterday, even though it was a blowout in a low-stakes game. Stick around.
Still arguing whether hockey or golf has the tougher dress code? The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Hi, it's Adam Gold for my friend Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary. How many people do you know got a gym membership and never use it? Ever. Don't go, but you have it, just in case. Sort of, that's like paying closing costs, because you are paying for a benefit you will never realize. Here's why. If you pay closing costs, essentially what you're doing is buying a lower rate. Hey, that's great. Who doesn't love saving $50 a month on their mortgage? I would love to save $50 a month on my mortgage. However, I don't want to pay $5,000 to get it, especially when the rates come down and they have a point in the last year. You simply refinance free of charge, lower your monthly payment, and at the very least, now you're paying what they paid a year ago, and they paid fees to do it. You don't ever have to pay fees, and you shouldn't. Miller Lending on Kildare Farm Road in Cary, an equal housing lender, NMLS ID 2502146.
Holiday scratch-offs, what a gift it lets them dream just for a bit. Ski trip, cruise ship, sports car, pristine yard, courtside seats, fancy meats, holiday scratch-offs can't be beat.
Give the gift of what if from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.19 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapor Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family.
And try Vicks Vapor Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
This is Adam Gold.
So Mike Vrabel, the coach of the New England Patriots, they asked him about birthday cake, and he said there was only one cake qualified for his birthday cake.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to guess what that is?
Is it vanilla?
No.
Oh.
Carrot.
I love him even more.
The Adam Gold Show.
The Adam Gold Show. You just heard a clip there from Adam and Victoria. Victoria, part of a little, give you some inside baseball here. Here at Capital Broadcasting, the company that we all work for, they honor once a year the long-term employees. You get a little luncheon. You get to swag out a little bit, eat some good food. Victoria being honored today as a part of that group. So that's why you get, partially, why you get me, Tim Donnelly, and Max Gorin today on the Adam Gold Show, because, Adam and Victoria earn their days off. You know what I mean?
Dennis Cox, your producer, is at that luncheon as well. But don't worry for fans of Dennis. He will be back this afternoon for the drive.
Correct. So you're exactly right. He is there, but he will be back for our show later on. In the meantime, NC State beat UNC Greensboro last night by a bundle. The final score, less important than everything that went on within the game. And what I mean by that is it was a chaotic game. There was a ref show. We talked about it. There was an ejection, flagrant 2 ejection for Trey Holloman early in the game. State wins 110-64. The only way that the Will Wade phenomenon, I don't even know what you call it. Is it a shtick? Probably not, because it seems authentic. The Will Wade vibe. Culture might be the word. The only way the Will Wade culture with the NC State basketball team works is if he has the great players to back him up. That's it, right? Because there are certain cultures that work no matter what. Right? If you are we go 1-0 every day, we respect our opponents, we're just about focusing on us, and we get a little better every 2% better every day. If you're that coach, guess what? You lose a game, that culture plays. You win a game, that culture plays. If you have a down season, you have people from outside the program saying things like, yeah, but his main goal is being a developer of young men. If you're the guy that comes in, like Will Wade did, into Raleigh, introductory press conference, I'm not afraid of our bully neighbors, meaning the other teams in the triangle, Duke, UNC. If you're Will Wade, you come in and say, we're not rebuilding, we plan to win big, and we plan to do it immediately. If you're that guy, well, you better have some players to back you up, right? You better know what you're going to do. And then that introductory press conference, he didn't. I'm sure he had an idea that a handful of his guys from McNeese State were going to be interested in following him, but he didn't know what the portal was going to do. He didn't know what recruiting was going to do. Darian Williams and Paul McNeil looked like the real deal last night for NC State. Granted, they won by $1 billion against UNCG, but it was eye test time. Career highs from both of them in points scored. Darian Williams, 32, Paul McNeil, 27 in the victory. Darian Williams, the stat line beyond points, pretty bonkers.
Yeah, he was great on the boards as well. And actually, we have a good clip here. He was good, so good rebounding. Will Wade pointed that out in his post-game press conference, talking about how good Darian was, especially with the rebounding.
I thought he was way better on the boards tonight, especially defensive rebounding. I've been all over him about defensive rebounding. We haven't been as good at some of the other positions at defensive rebounding. I mean, defensive rebounding, in theory, you should be 5-on-4 or 5-on-3 if you have your guys doing it with the other two getting back for transition defense. But we've been trying to defensive rebound 3-on-3. And it's tough. We only gave up 1 offensive rebound in the first half. We gave up, I think, 4 more in the second half. But makes it tough. But I thought Darian played really, really well, which, look, we needed it. We were down bodies. We needed it.
Darian Williams had 32 points, 10 boards for a 30-10 double-double, 2 assists, 4 steals. But to me, the most impressive part was the efficiency. This was not a 32 against a bad team by shooting 27 shots. He was 12 of 18, 6 of 8 from 3. Paul McNeil. Paul McNeil has to be the best surprise Will Wade's had in a long time. He took over the NC State program. My guess is with expectations that he was going to turn over, if not the entire roster, pretty much the entire roster. He wasn't expecting the 9th leading scorer from last year, Paul McNeil, to already be this good. I guarantee you.
He's awesome. And he's a guy, like, there was a little bit of hype.
Yep.
Some media members, like I remember particularly John Rothstein, whenever he visited NC State practice in the offseason, was like, buy stock now in Paul McNeil because this guy can shoot. And he's already put it on full display just 3 games into the year. You can see the range on Paul McNeil. The confidence is there despite, he didn't have a huge role last year. He had a nice breakout game against Wake Forest, which was his previous career high in points until last night, and he set a new career high. So it's very nice for NC State to have the one guy that's kind of the holdover from the previous team to be able to be such a big factor and just add to the barrage of shooting ability that this team has.
That is just an unbelievable happy accident for Will Wade. Got 27 points in his 3rd game as an NC State coach from the 9th leading scorer on the team last year that he didn't assemble last year's team. It's not like he knew he had this young guy. He showed up, evaluated, said, let's keep him, and he's 27 points. So those two guys, the thing I love about Darian Williams the most, and I'll do my best to describe this. If you listen to my show, I love an analogy. If not, I just told you. I love analogies. Darian Williams' face after he makes a big play, knocks down a 3, grabs a rebound, goes back up. His face after he makes a great play, there's no surprise. It's like he had been waiting for you to discover that play. I remember vividly. I was in college at the time. Shutter Island came out, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Great movie.
I
have seen that one. I know you always bring up movie references. I have seen Shutter Island.
For those of you that have seen Shutter Island, I think most of you would agree with me. But there's twists at the end, right? Like blow your mind stuff. And me and a couple of my teammates went and saw Shutter Island. And then we told some of our other teammates about it. And we were like, you have to go see it. We don't want to spoil it. We're not going to tell you anything. You have to go see it. And they went and saw it that night. And then we bumped into them after they saw it. I'm sure our face looked like Darian Williams after he hits a 3, where you're just looking at him going like, yeah, right? Right? How awesome was it? And, of course, they were like, oh, my goodness, at the end, what do you think? Do you think this? And it's like we then lit up. That's Darian Williams. He's like, you get the feeling that he knows what he's doing is awesome. And he's like, just wait. You'll see. Just wait till the end. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Just watch this. And then he pulls up from 3 and drills it. And is like, told you it was going to be cool, wasn't it? The thing about any bad boys of the blank league that's had success is it works, it motivates, it creates every game a big game feel, but you also need the team to be really good. Right? If you think of the Miami teams, meaning the Hurricanes, the football teams, late 80s, early 90s, right? If you don't know about them, go check out the 30 for 30, the U. They could do all of that, right? They could score a touchdown and run into the tunnel. They could take all these 15-yard penalties because if you get the first down anyway, it doesn't impact anything, right? You get a 15-yard penalty, you take a 3rd and 3 into 3rd and 18, next play's a 60-yard touchdown. Who cares? Or maybe the best example, the Bad Boys Pistons, right? Lambeer and Rodman and Mahorn and all these guys could be the bad boys because they had Isaiah Thomas, maybe the second best point guard in the history of the game. Like, all right, yeah, we're also going to be really good at this basketball thing. Once you rattle them, we'll all come together to play good basketball. NC State has the swagger. Under Will Wade, they have the brash. They have the us against the world. They have a comfortability wearing the black hat, being the heel, whatever you want to call it. Last night, they flashed the talent that is also necessary. If Darian Williams plays like that or anything close to it, if Paul McNeil can shoot like that or anything close to it, and a few of the other guys can match that.
And when you get Trey Holloman for a full game versus the first 5 minutes or whatever it was before he got ejected from the game.
But that's part of it. They have Trey Holloman, 110 career starts, Big Ten, Michigan State, Tom Izzo made point guard. He leaves in the first 5 minutes because there's a dust-up. He and Kadir Copeland go over there. They feed off the energy. They pump up the crowd. Maybe he crosses a line, maybe not, depending on how you think of the refs. He gets ejected. That's a massive problem if you don't have the talent around him to go, oh, no, we'll just have two guys pretty much outscore UNCG. Where those two guys combined for 59 points. UNC Greensboro scored 64. If you needed Trey Holloman to win that game, that earlier dust-up is a much bigger problem. Now, I wouldn't say do that against a better ACC opponent. I wouldn't say do that against Kansas when you play them in a little bit. I wouldn't recommend this being the new strategy. But if you have the dudes, it does open up a whole different level of motivation, a whole different level of culture that you can play into. Got to have the dudes, though. Williams and McNeil were really good. The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan is later today in the Triangle on 99.9. That's the show I normally host. I just went into autopilot there.
Force a habit.
Right now, we are hosting the Adam Gold Show. You all know that. And if you want to follow along, 99.9 The Fan app, the application on your phone, Google Play or App Store, works for live streaming the Adam Gold Show every day of the week, whether Adam's hosting or one of us are filling in. We have one-timers coming up next here on the Adam Gold Show. You know the segment. We'll get into it next.
His Zamboni is bigger than yours. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And here we are again. It is Thursday night, and that means it is time for the Thursday Touchdown Jackpot, where you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. All you got to do, pick an anytime touchdown scorer. If that person scores the first or last touchdown, you win your initial bet, plus you win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Don't pick a Jet. They're probably not going to score. FanDuel.com/AGS. FanDuel.com/AGS for FanDuel. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus is issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
As a school nurse, I feel like we're really that contact for the schools between the Department of Public Health and what goes on in the school system.
The face of the Department of Public Health in our school is our nurse, Nurse Emma. All the communication that she was receiving and direction she was receiving, she made sure to communicate with us and be a wonderful partner with us.
These kids need their routines.
NC Public Health. Everywhere. Every day. Everyone.
You don't need a 4-year degree to have a rewarding career that makes a difference in people's lives every day. As a public power line worker, you'll build and maintain a locally owned and operated electric system to keep the lights on in your community. 4 months in a community college program provides the training you need to begin your career as an apprentice line worker in public power. And being a local government employee in North Carolina comes with excellent benefits. To learn more about line worker and other public power careers, visit electricities.com.
Your background may not include agriculture, but 2 years at the Agricultural Institute will prepare you for a career in it. Whether you are a military veteran with an arsenal of skills, kickstarting your second career, or about to graduate high school, the Agricultural Institute at NC State University is the right place for you. Nurture your passion and find your career. Learn more about our program online by searching NC State Ag Institute. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. This month, we dive into a project that's making big waves in Charlotte and beyond. It's called The Pearl, a bold reimagining of how healthcare, education, and innovation come together. My guest, Hillary Crittenden, leads operations for The Pearl and has played an important role in its growth and development.
The Pearl is an innovation district. We brought together medical education, cutting-edge research, and really big and small players in the healthcare space who are advancing science in a really interesting way, all together in one place.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And find out more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
Person in front of me in line had a box of wine.
Oh, yeah. I feel that person. If you are buying boxed wine on a Friday, that thing is open right now.
In the car.
Yeah. I don't even need it to cool down.
She jammed a big straw right through the top of the box
yeah.
in the
Went
car.
to the gas station to get a cup of ice. Like, they don't even care.
The Adam Gold Show.
The Adam Gold Show. I'm Tim Donnelly, sitting in for Adam today. A little substitute teacher action / maybe like, next man up, backup is a better term because I can't control a classroom. It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Tim Donnelly, Max Gorin producing, sitting in for Victoria. And we're having some fun, and we're going to continue having some fun because, as you know, as listeners of the Adam Gold Show, around this time, it's when we hit some one-timers. All right, Max, line it up.
All right, so we got one here from the YouTube chat. This is from Peyton.
Which, by the way, everybody, check out our YouTube live stream. 99.9 The Fan is the channel. 999 The Fan. You can subscribe while you're there. Join into that community. We're pretty proud of what we're putting out there.
It does not appear we're on video right now, so we'll get on top of that so you can see our lovely faces as we
Bad time to suggest the
as we
YouTube
have
live
our
stream.
takes here. But this one is from Peyton in the chat, the YouTube chat. One-timer, do you think with the Panthers losing to the Saints that the Buccaneers have now effectively secured the division for the NFC South?
Well, I mean, it really depends what you mean by effectively. Like, if I'm betting, I'm definitely going on the Bucs. But there's a lot of division games to go later in the game, including 2 against the Panthers. Right? If the Bucs want to mess around and lose a couple, that can change everything. The other thing, 2 more things I'll point out about the Bucs. One, they've been hit pretty hard by the injury bug. Right? The Bucky Irving, although I do believe he was at practice yesterday. He's been out for a while. Their running back, Mike Evans, obviously, Chris Godwin, obviously, some others. So, if they had 1 or 2 more well-placed injuries, meaning like key injuries, that could change up everything for the Bucs. And secondly, I know it's the NFL and, so many games come down to 1-possession games. If games were 2 minutes shorter, Bucs would be well below 500. They had a furious run of Baker Mayfield moxie wins right at the end of games. And you can look at that 2 ways, right? This is where you have to make the decision. Is that a team that's comfortable in the clutch and Baker Mayfield knows how to execute? Or is that those games are usually coin flips and they're probably due for some regression?
Is it like the Vikings a couple years ago where they had that crazy record maybe even
11-1
last
or
season
something
was it
like
like that with Sam Darnold as well? I know it was like that a couple seasons ago with Kirk Cousins, but is it one of those where they just win every close game, but then you get into crunch time in the playoffs and they just kind of fold?
So, they're the overwhelming favorite to win the division, don't get me wrong, but I'm not using a Sharpie to write it in quite yet. Still a lot of football left to be played. Crazier things have happened.
All right, we'll keep it on the Panthers here. How can the Panthers address their issues with the passing game? Do they need to And it's too late to do it via trade, but looking just into the future, are they going to look to acquire a wide receiver too? Depending on how you feel about Bryce Young, or are they going to look to maybe build around another quarterback? How can the Panthers address the fact that the passing game just has not been fully there?
All right. Before you even get to the offseason, I think there's things you need to do. The NFL, this is the timeline of it. You draft a guy highly, right? You draft a guy near the top of the draft. They did that with Bryce. The clock starts on 3 years. You have 3 years to gather as much information as you possibly can on that player, because after 3 years is where the decisions start. Are you picking up the fifth-year option? Do you want to give a long-term extension? Which, as we've learned with quarterbacks, the market only goes up. So the earlier you sign that extension, the more money you save long term. You get 3 years. But what I always remind people of is you get all 3 years, right? You don't have to decide after the first season. You don't have to decide after the first season and a half. You don't have to decide after the first 2.5 seasons. So I still need information on Bryce. The issue is, this season especially, they've stopped gathering information. They've decided to take their ball and go home. They're not throwing it deep. They're not giving volume passing, even when the game calls for volume passing. Maybe you wait till you're mathematically eliminated, like they did last year. Maybe you wait until the Bucs are effectively in position to win the division, to mix our two questions here. But at some point, whether you believe in Bryce or not, you have to let him sling it. We haven't seen him really get the opportunity to try to spread his wings with Tetero McMillan, with this squad, with this group, with an effective run game the way it's been this year. So do that. And then we can figure it out.
The only time he really got to sling it around, they were down by 24 against the Cardinals, and they had no other choice. So
one of the only what ifs. I think Bryce has been given a better sporting cast than many believe. But one of the only what ifs is, if you look at who he thrived with at Alabama, fast and space, right? The fast guys that create big separation. Jamison Williams, John Mechie, like guys that can get out and run a little bit. He's been given size for the most part in the NFL. So after you gather all that information, right? After you have more opportunity to learn, if you want to give him one more shot, which is a big if, I'm not advocating for it, at least not yet. If you want to give him another shot, I do think you should look around, and one of the options might be to get him like a Jalen Waddle type.
AJ Brown.
I mean, not as he's still a bigger dude.
If he were available, though, I wouldn't be against pursuing that.
He's older. I don't know. And especially with all of the like, if Bryce plays like he did this year and he's got AJ Brown out there, can you imagine the tweets that would be fired in Bryce's direction? It might hurt some feelings. Some streaming video game quotes. AJ might hurt some feelings. But my point is, go get somebody fast. Go get somebody that runs to space. Go get somebody that runs a 4.29 rather than a 4.39 like Xavier Legette, and see if it happens. But that's such a long way into the future. Like, see if he throws it well against the Falcons, and then maybe we revisit it.
All right, let's shift gears over to the Hurricanes. We're at practice today. Luckily, Freddie Anderson back on the ice after being pulled by the concussion spotter in the last game, so it seems like he's at least not too banged up. But given that, and even if he is healthy and able to play, how should the Hurricanes manage their goalie rotation here in the regular season?
Okay. I got to remember that I'm hosting the Adam Gold Show and not my show, so you guys aren't as familiar with me. Hopefully you'll give The Drive with Tim Donnelly afternoons immediately following this one, 99.9 The Fan, a chance. If you're in a different market, youtube.com/999 The Fan. Live stream, check it out. I've gone back and forth a million times with the goalie rotation. If you go back 3 years ago, you would find me in a bunch of different places. Receipts, right? I'm a flip-flopper. Saying, I think you need an obvious goalie one. You need a dude, you need a guy, and then you have your goalie two, spell him when he needs it, right? Back-to-backs, long stretches, if he's banged up at all. Over the last 2 years, I've come around to the whole like 1-1-1-1-1-1 thing, with the only caveat being I don't like changing it when you hit the postseason. right? If you're going to do that and everyone's going to be in rhythm and everyone's going to be playing their best and that's how you think the regular season works, then I don't like changing things when you get to the games that matter a ton. With 3 of them, I mean, maybe 2 years from now I'll be saying I'm wrong again. I can't see getting 3 guys enough reps to be in rhythm. Granted, with injuries, they might be forced to. But I'm a big Pyotr Kochetkov fan. I think Freddie is the one the coaches trust the most. I think if you want to go one game with those 2, that's cool. Mix in Brandon Bussey when you have 3 games in 4 nights or something like that, maybe. But I think you need top 2. Brandon Bussey's been playing really well.
All right, quick one here as we get to the end of the hour. Who is going to be the ACC basketball player of the year?
My preseason pick was, I believe, Darian Williams. I am opening the door for Caleb Wilson. Cameron Boozer obviously is like any of those 3. You want to put him in a hat and pull out randomly, whichever one. I'm cool with that. But I think I'm leaning Caleb Wilson just because of the hype. Maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment. This is the Adam Gold Show. Tim Donnelly here, sitting in for Adam today, as I will be for the entirety of the show. Max producing. More Bryce Young talk, but specifically about the wide receivers when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And here we go. It is Thursday's touchdown jackpot, where you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Jets and Patriots tonight. Pick an anytime touchdown score. If that person scores the first or last touchdown, you are in the mix for $2 million in bonus bets. Can't beat it. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. FanDuel.com/AdamGold for FanDuel. Here's hoping you hit the jackpot like the Patriots did with Drake May. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus is issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Adam Gold Show.
I know they haven't really been tested, but I like everything that I have seen from this Wolfpack basketball team. I like their size. I like their versatility. I like the fact that they share the basketball. 27 assists in the opener, 37 made field goals. You keep playing like that. Unselfish ball, play defense. With their size and their talent, they could win.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
It is I, Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. Yes, I am back in Raleigh. Do I go downtown with so many places to party? No, I go to the Shakey's place. The good food, the fine drinks, the coldest of beers, and of course, the many, many beautiful people. I always hang at the Shakey's place, the coolest bar in the world, because, well, it was built for me. Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. The Shakey's place, 8800 de Raleigh Road by the Shelley Station.
Hey, it's Amanda here, back again with my friend Coach Pete. Coach, I said growing up, I want like 5 people in my circle, my board of advisors. You're one of them.
Thank you.
I look up to you. And that's kind of how I should be looking at my finances. I need to get all these bad apples out, all these people, all these negative Nancys out of my friend circle. I need to be doing the same thing with my money.
Mom used to say if you had a bad apple in with the other apples, all the other apples would get bad.
That's right.
And I saw that one time. They all get rotten. So get rid of the rotten one quick and preserve your circle, as you say. The circle gets smaller as we get older, doesn't it?
Yep.
So I am in a lot of folks' circle when it comes to retirement, because I do plans, and when the plans that I put in writing, they actually come true. There's no Cinderella 12 o'clock turning into a pumpkin. We don't have pumpkin plans. We have total Cinderella slipper plans. And so if you want your own plan that gives you lifetime income and puts you in control of retirement, call us right now.
919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
All of us have a role to play in promoting a mental health friendly workplace.
Whether we're a CEO, manager,
coworker,
or someone with a mental health condition ourselves.
So what can I do to help?
Learn more at whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
Gage Diamonds has a secret for creating something stunning.
Something forever. It's our skilled ring designers. Tell them about your favorite ring styles. Show them your inspirations. Together, you'll make magic. Schedule your in-person or online appointment. Gage specializes in exceptional lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. Visit GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Did the committee tell us yesterday that an SEC loss carries more value than an ACC win? I stumped him. Georgia Tech is something and 1, and every decent team with 2 losses is ahead of them.
Okay, so here we go. I think that Adam Gold might win this one because I'm ready to get rid of automatic qualifiers.
Across the board.
Across the board. They threw Miami up in all of their brackets, and Miami has the most narrow, least likely path to even make the ACC championship game.
How's that for food for thought? CFP does away with automatic qualifiers altogether. You know,
well, there's some kind of big news with the CFP committee today.
Hit us with it.
Mac Rhodes, who was the chairman of the committee, is he's stepping down from the role.
I hope that's not massive news. Obviously, for like Mac Rhodes, and I think he was the AD at Baylor and had to step away from that as well. There's some stuff going on. If I'm wrong on that, like which school, I apologize. I hope that's not a massive news for this reason. One person shouldn't be able to impact anything that much. If it truly changes, like if the rankings come out next week and they got a new person like mediating the meeting and all of a sudden the rankings are way different, that tells me that it's way too subjective and it really is just people in there arguing about opinions, which is not what I think sports should be. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I think there's some CFP conversations that are real and interesting, but not for right now. Because right now, here on the Adam Gold Show, I'm Tim Donnelly. Nice to meet you if you're just tuning in. Tim Donnelly sitting in for Adam today as he gets the day off. Nic Scourton sitting in for Victoria. So you're hearing 2 different voices, but you're in the right place, I promise you. Right here, I want to talk a little bit about Bryce Young, but not really about Bryce Young. Okay, this is one of those indirect conversations. Bryce Young has been in the crosshairs for a week. I think it's actually kind of humorous, if I'm being real with you. Can I be real? Can we be friends? I don't see a ton different in his game against, say, the Packers and against the Saints. I see difference in the way the team played around him and the way the opposing team played. And because of that, everybody's treating Bryce very, very differently. And for those of you that don't know, I did not play in the NFL, did not play in the FBS, but I was a quarterback at the University of Delaware. So I don't know. Do with that what you will. If it gives my take any more credibility, I appreciate it. If it does absolutely nothing for you, hopefully the logic that we explain our points with can get some credibility. Bryce Young this week has been in the crosshairs because the team around him wasn't good enough to win despite of his low production or in spite of his low production like they were against the Packers. And when that happens, there is a fervent and dedicated group of Bryce Young defenders that I'm not actually 100% sure how large the contingent is. I don't know how many people are out there, but I can tell you they are loud and they are vocal and they are really loyal. That jump out and say, well, you know, the drops. They jump out and say, well, he doesn't have Adam Thielen. They jump out and say, do you see anybody getting open? So much so that I went on Twitter. I'll give you a little background here. I went and looked up drops. I said, all right, if Bryce isn't throwing for 200 yards a game because they're absolutely sacking his production. They're putting an anchor on it with drops. Let me go look it up. So I looked up drops, Pro Football Reference. They do stats for the entire league. Middle of the pack. Okay, they're not the best sure-handed team in the world. They're far from the worst. So I put up that. And then, of course, the response was, well, they're throwing way less than everybody else. Of course they have less drops. And I went, all right, that's fair. So I looked up drops percentage. Middle of the pack. They're not the worst in the league, but they're definitely not the best in the league, right? They are right there, like 14th in drop percentage. Percentage is obviously, that's completely independent of volume. So it's not because they're throwing less. And then they hit me with, you can't drop a pass if you're not getting your hands on it because you're not open. So I went to NFL Pro Stats and I looked up average separation, and guess what? When targeted, the Panthers are middle of the pack in separation. About 14th. Again, not the best, not the worst. About 3.4 yards of separation when the ball arrives on average, which means sometimes less, sometimes more. Either way, I say all of that to say this. Don't bend over backwards insulting other parts of the team to make it seem like one of your beliefs is true. Bryce Young isn't being productive enough in the passing game. Okay? I think we can all agree on 168 yards, not throwing for enough touchdowns, the not being productive enough in the passing game. That in and of itself, if we all agree that is true, then it's like we can do this like theorems in math, right? If that is true, then we can plug it into another equation. If the passing game isn't productive enough, it means one of a few things. One or multiple of offensive play caller, quarterback, pass catchers, offensive line isn't doing their job. You can't defend them all. You can't. If they're all awesome at their job, the passing game would be better. So one or multiple of is not doing their job or doing their job very poorly. If you want to say it's the pass catchers, I would wholeheartly disagree with you. While acknowledging they're not the 2000s Rams or this year's Bengals with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, they're not the best of the best, right? They're not unbelievable, but they're good enough. They're good enough for average production. I'm not saying anything crazy. I'm not expecting 350 yards passing. I'm not expecting you'd be out there with Matt Stafford, who's on pace for 47 touchdown passes. I'm not expecting any of that. I'm expecting 200 yards a game. It's not an Adam Thielen thing. And if it is, you're kind of telling on yourself, meaning telling on what you're defending right there, right? If the difference between a good passing offense and a bad passing offense is a 37, how old is he? 36-year-old, middle of the pack, doing nothing for Minnesota wide receiver, then your passing offense ain't that good. It's not a drops thing. And if it is, again, you're kind of explaining the problem right there. It says everything you need to know. They have 11 drops, according to Pro Football Focus, through 10 games. Or sorry, not Pro Football Focus, Pro Football Reference. Through 10 games. If one incompletion a game, on average, right, 1.1 incompletion per game is uprooting your entire passing game. Your quarterback isn't good enough to overcome one drop a game. That says everything you need to know. If the margin of error, if the difference between good and bad is that minuscule, it ain't going to work. It's just not going to work. If they would have caught that ball in the third quarter, he would have thrown for 285 yards. Really? Was it a 120-yard pass that was dropped? They are not the best wide receivers in the league, but they are not the reason why the Panthers are throwing for 168 yards a game. Now, if you want to entertain offensive line, I would disagree with you. I think they've been pretty unbelievable given the situation they've been put in with how many different starters they've had to rotate out there, and they're still not sure who's going to start this week. Chandler Zavala, Austin Corbett, who knows? They'll figure it out closer to game time. I'm not putting it on them. If you want to put it on the play caller, you got to think about what you're saying there as well. Dave Canales isn't calling the plays that Bryce Young can dial it up. All right. So what you're saying is the person whose job it is to know the quarterback and know the offense better than anybody, the person whose job is to spend every waking moment designing an offense that works the best, is deciding that the best thing they could do is not have him throw. That's what you're telling me. Because if that's the case, then think about what you're saying. If I'm the Panthers, I'll tell you what I do. If I'm the offensive play caller, I'll tell you what I do. I pump Bryce Young with confidence because it doesn't make sense to shake him, right? I don't care if I believe it or not. I'm telling him he's my guy. I'm telling him he has a long leash. I'm telling him we're building something. Which, by the way, is why I can never be a coach, because I do think at times you have to lie to players, and I would have a hard time with that. I'm pumping him with confidence, and I'm letting him throw it. When the defense sells out to stop Rico Dowdle, I'm calling the deep ball. I'm giving him the dig in the post. And I'm saying if that safety takes half a step forward, if he buzzes his feet, Teteroa McMillan run by him, we're going for pay dirt. And I'm seeing if it works. If it's an incomplete, fine. At least you showed the defense you're willing. If it's complete, great. Let's shut the haters up. If it's an interception, well, then you know what the problem is, right? And if it happens too many times, you know what the problem is, and then you got to fix it with personnel. Then you look to Dan Morgan and you say, this is what we got to do. But I don't think it's good business to just start tearing down other parts of your team unnecessarily and unwarranted, because you're so dead set on making sure that people aren't mean to the quarterback. And that's coming from, like I said, I played a little former quarterback, played a little quarterback in my day, and I never made it that far, but I'll tell you what you know as a quarterback from Pop Warner on up. You get all the credit when things are going well, whether it's deserve it or not, and you get all the blame when things are going poorly, and it's not always deserved there either. But you sign up for it, you're aware of it. Matter of fact, sometimes you attract blame when things are going poorly. You try to be a magnet for it because you know you can take it because you signed up for it. There's no reason for anybody to be deflecting things, especially to unwarranted targets, to make sure Bryce avoids the vitriol. It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Tim Donnelly sitting in for Adam. We have a conversation. This is a long callback. This next segment, we're going to talk about the Carolina Hurricanes, right? Adam Gold Show. We're going to make sure we get our fill of hockey. We're going to talk about the Carolina Hurricanes, and it is a segment that has been marinating for a year. We finally pay it off. Stick around.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Pack Therapy is in session, thanks to First Horizon Bank. It's Tim Donnelly from 99.9 The Fan, alongside legendary Wolfpack play caller Mike Glennon.
Every episode of Pack Therapy is your chance to get dialed in with inside information on your team.
We'll set you up for every Wolfpack game all season long.
And we'll break down every contest, what went right and what could have worked better.
Plus, special guests to keep Wolfpack hope alive.
Follow and subscribe to Pack Therapy wherever you discover your favorite podcast, and watch every episode on YouTube.
Get ready, Durham. The CIAA Football Championship is coming to Durham County Memorial Stadium Saturday, November 15th. Don't miss your chance to experience the culture and tradition of HBCU football as the two top teams in the conference battle it out for the title of CIAA Football Champion. Visit DurhamNCSports.com for more information and to secure your tickets today. That's DurhamNCSports.com for CIAA Football Championship tickets.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Hey, it's Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan. You know, I love Thanksgiving, and there's no better place to take care of that meal than with my friends at the Butcher's Market. My favorite location knows me as soon as I walk in. I head on in there, check out that fresh meat case, then roll to the refrigerator case for some homemade pasta salad and mashed potatoes. Family dinner, Thanksgiving dinner done in one stop. The Butcher's Market, with 5 convenient Triangle locations. Trust them to make your Thanksgiving meal a winner. Do me a favor, check them out at thebutchersmarkets.com.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Looking for a like-new ride without the new car price? Head to Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford and check out our Car Bravo certified used cars. We've got all makes and models. Each Car Bravo certified for quality and backed with warranty. Plus, right now you can finance at just 1.9% for 36 months. Don't miss your chance to save big on a certified car, truck, or SUV you can trust. Stop by Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC today in Sanford or shop online anytime at wilkinsoncars.com. See participating dealer for complete details.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
I'm Dr. Miller, a dentist and a volunteer for Dental Lifeline Network. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one patient per year who might not have access to proper oral health care. Join me in making a difference.
Go to willyouseeone.org to learn more.
This is Adam Gold.
82nd mark, I scream in the booth. I screamed in the booth. Why the heck is he still on the ice?
Did you say it in Finnish?
I should have.
Yes.
No, he wouldn't. He curses in English.
He does.
All right, 2 seconds later, he scored.
Yes.
And I went, oh, that's why. That's what.
The Adam Gold Show.
This is the Adam Gold Show. I'm Tim Donnelly, filling in for Adam today, which I do from time to time. Occasionally, when Adam has to miss a show, I get the call up from the bullpen to do the Adam Gold Show. And I'll let you in on some behind-the-scenes stuff. At times I forget, what time we should go to break. And, my show in the afternoon, different time, like in the hour we take breaks at different times or whatever. So this morning I was planning the show, this one. And I forgot what time we had to go to break. Where's the big segments, right? Where's the stuff? So I just went into my notes, and I keep pretty meticulous notes, and I searched for an Adam Gold Show board, like the little schedule. And the one that popped up, I just see, Control F, whatever, the function. And the one that popped up was from about a year ago, a little less than. So I was like, oh, perfect. I can just, copy, paste this, erase all the topics, and I have my board ready to roll. So as I was doing that, I'm deleting segments, and, it's like Panther stuff from last year, right? What's Miles Sanders going to do? Like weird stuff mixed in there. Adam Thielen needs to get healthy. I forget what they were. And one said Kane's edge. That was the topic. And I went down to the bullet points, and it was all about how at some point in time during last year's Carolina Hurricanes season, I was clamoring. I was begging. I was pleading for edge. For somebody to show like outward aggression. And it's one of those things that we've been talking about for a long time. I think the Canes, and I always make sure to say this caveat, I think as people, this is the way you want to be. I think they're, for the last handful of years, they've been really nice people. People that you would, be excited to see them pull over if you're like laying on the side of the road changing a flat tire. They're really nice people. Their parents should be happy and proud with the way they were raised. But that doesn't always translate to the best hockey teams. You might need a few jerks. Ready? Bunch of jerks, huh? Another way, and I've heard this said about team sports. It's not my quote, so don't credit me with it, but I don't know who to credit to, so we'll just put it in the ether. You can't win with a locker room full of milk drinkers. Somebody has to drink whiskey. And that's basically what I was talking about last year for the Carolina Hurricanes. A lot of nice guys, skilled skaters. They could score, they could defend, they right, all the two-way hockey, 200 feet, all of it. But I wanted the edge, the sandpaper. This was a year ago, and I kind of had fun going through the notes. And then when I was done going through the notes, I went, do they have it now?
At least more than then, for sure.
Did they fix it? They brought in, because one of the things that I want to say I had on my buy list in free agency and trades in the offseason was that, right? I wanted a little bit more anger, a little bit more salty. Nikolai Ehlers ain't the big enforcer. Keandre Miller is big. He's not exactly the most physical player in the world. They brought in some new guys, but in their big acquisitions, I wouldn't say they solved that issue. But you're right, Max. At least in my mind, you're right, Max. They do have more than last year. They do. And there's super tangible ways to see it, like Jordan Staal and Logan Stankoven dropping the mitts in the last week, right? There is more of a don't push us around, but I'm not sure where that came from, right? Because it's not like they went and got a goon, right? They didn't go get an enforcer of any kind, put him on there to set the tone. They simply have guys that were, for the most part, around last year. I know Logan Stankoven showed up, at the deadline, but I don't think the 5'8", 165 guy was added for his, enforcer status. It's there, but it's an interesting development for this year's Canes team.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of Stankoven, I figure when you're an undersized guy like that and you're coming up in a physical sport like hockey, you definitely have to have that level of edge and that level of willingness to go in there and mix it up and stand up for yourself, because when opponents see you at a smaller stature, they probably think that they're going to have a physical advantage and they're going to be able to push you around. I can honestly say same things happen for me. I play hockey and it's non-checking league, but I mean, I'm like 135 soaking wet. Maybe put the pads on me, it gets up to like 140, 145, but I know opponents feel like they can easily kind of push me off and push me around, so I can only imagine a guy who's at 5'8" out there with NHL players who are 6'3", 6'4" plus and 210, 220 plus out there flying around, how hard it can be for him. So you have to have that level of grit and determination to be able to make it at that size, and he plays above his size for sure. And it's not like he's a super light guy either for his height. He's stocky at 5'8", and just bringing in guys that have that kind of attitude, that can go a long way to increasing kind of the team, the mindset. And I love to when whenever anybody wants to try to mix it up with Nikishin, it's like he has like a whole security detail come in and jump in, because these guys love to play for each other so much, but especially these young guys coming up that they like playing with so much and they want to support. That they ramp up that level of intensity and physicality to step in for each other. It's really good to see.
That's what I wanted to jump in when you were talking about Stankoven. I agree with everything you said about being a smaller guy in a physical sport, right? Sometimes you have to almost just take hits and get back up quick just to show everybody, like, that's not going to work against me, right? You're not going to knock me off my game. But when he fought the other day, it wasn't for him. It wasn't because someone was picking on Stankoven. It's because obviously it started with the contact with Freddie and goalie, but he was stepping in for Blake, right? That he was coming as the big brother. He wasn't the little brother getting picked on that had to stand up to the bully. He was coming in as the big brother to help the other guy that was getting picked on. And I'm not sure we've seen that for the Canes in the past. Matter of fact, there have been moments after postseason games. I think it was Taylor Hall last year who said, like, yeah, somebody probably should have gone to help that guy. It was Svetch or Aho or whatever it was in the postseason taking a hit. Yeah, so I wish somebody would have gone over there and handled business. It doesn't have to be asked this time. Even when you have the line of Ehlers, Stankoven, and Blake out there on the ice, which is again, not your grinding line. There's not a lot of 6'4", 220 out there. If it calls for physicality, if it calls for someone to defend their guy, they're ready. The Canes, and by the way, you're right, Nikishin, he's more physical like between the whistles than anyone's been in recent years as far as hunting for hits. And he actually, I still look at him as like a puppy German Shepherd. He doesn't know how strong he is yet. There's times where I don't think he's aware he's getting hit at all.
Yeah, and then he's throwing hits too. I didn't even mention when saying that they stick up for him is he's out there throwing massive hits as well.
And he, like, a guy will hit him from a blind side and he'll look around like, what was that? Meanwhile, the guy's flat on his back. Like, he's just a big dude. Kokiniemi has thrown some hits. Like, I'm not discrediting any of that. Svetch, Stahl, obviously, Martinuk. Like, I'm not discrediting any of their in-game physicality. But I am saying it's a different vibe. I am saying if I were to go back and look at those notes again and talk about this year's team, I would not be saying the same things, even though it's many of the same players. I'll give them this. They seem more youthful. Whether they are or not, I know they're still like on average age near the top of the league. Like, it's not like they became one of the younger teams. But when you replace guys like Orlov and Burns, and over the last few years, Pesci and Nason and just even like Fost, even though they weren't always the youngest, they always seemed like old souls in a lot of ways. And you replace them with Miller, Nikishin, Stankoven, Blake, even Jankowski, who I know is in his 30s, seems younger. Like they just seem more spry, which I think is huge when it comes into a game, when it comes into a series, when it comes into defending your guy, when it comes into stopping it before it begins. Right? It used to be you could pick on the Canes. You can get away with it. I don't think you're getting away with it this year, so maybe some don't decide to do it. A game like Tuesday is going to happen, and obviously if you watch the game on Tuesday, it was a tough game for the Canes. Right? Just things didn't go well. When they were looking for a break, they couldn't find one. The way I described it yesterday felt like the puck was like 10 pounds for the Canes. Like, just everything was ugh.
It's like they were playing with one of those blind hockey pucks.
Yeah. But even like the Stankoven, they tried to spark something. It wasn't there, right? But they tried. And then eventually, they were out of ammunition and they just had to try to grind their way back into it. But it's different this year. And I hope they can continue that. And it's even more impressive with all the injuries they've dealt with, to still show up every day with a little extra fight, despite the fact that every day, like, one of your sports brothers is going on the IR, is going to the training room. It's worth something. So you can, like, again, this is the Adam Gold Show. I'm Tim Donnelly filling in for Adam. You can go to Adam for Canes Corner for all the inside and hearing from Rod Brindamore, and you can get all the X's and O's there. From a team sport perspective, this year's team is different. From a locker room perspective, this year's team is different. And it's the one thing, like, if you follow sports, if you're a fan of sports, which I'm sure you are, you can piece it together. At the end of a player's career, okay, any sport, any team sport, at the end of a player's career, if they've won a championship or some championships, you ask them what was special about that team. Very rarely do they say, "Oh, we were so good. Oh, we were so talented. Oh man, our lineup, top to bottom, every player could do this, do that. Oh, we had so much speed. No." Usually they say how close they were. Usually they talk about there was something different in a vibe with that team. And I spent the rest of my career chasing it. And it was the most frustrating thing in the world to be in another locker room and have it not there and trying to will it into existence, and it just doesn't happen. I'm not saying they have it this year. Time will tell. But they're closer to it this year than they were last year, the year before, and probably in quite some time.
Hopefully this team gets healthy, and then we can see if they want to explore adding anything kind of at the trade deadline as well, because they have the flexibility to do that. Not that they necessarily have to. I mean, obviously it's a very good team as is, and they've been dealing with, again, having kind of a makeshift decor so far with all the injuries and even some forward injuries as well. But we'll see what they do at full strength. Even if they are really good, I don't anticipate Eric Tulsky's just going to sit on his hands and be like, oh, yeah, we're good. Like, he's going to look around the market and see what's out there and see what's available. And if something could be added, I mean, things could get really, really scary for the rest of the Eastern Conference. But
let's dive into it because new show. We'll spread our legs a little bit, spread our wings a little bit in the hockey world. What Eric Tulsky chooses to do moving forward, I think, regardless of if you're a Canes fan or not, is one of the stories of the NHL season. Because I'll give you a list of reasons. I'll lay it out like an outline for you. I talked with Eric Tulsky before the season, and my bar none favorite part about Eric Tulsky is he is in every deal, right? And it's something that I remind people about because every single time there's a player who might be available or there's a controversial acquisition target player in the offseason or there's a big trade, the insiders always go, 4 teams have reached out. This is hypothetical. Columbus, San Jose, Toronto, and Carolina. And Carolina's included in all of them. Teams have called, including Carolina. Teams in the mix, Carolina. And it's every deal. They're in the mix on every deal. So I was talking with Eric Tulsky, and I said, do you just call every GM every day? And somehow, I forget how we got there. You can go find the interview on our 99.9 The Fan YouTube page. It was outside the Lenovo Center. We got to basically, he talks to every GM in the league 3 days or less, I think it was. Like, he is constantly calling, checking in. Hey, what are you thinking? Hey, what's the rumor on this? Who have you been talking to? Just trying to get information, right? So then if somebody is shopping somebody, you find out about it. And guess what? Carolina talked to him on the phone. Does that mean they're interested? No. Did maybe they gain a little bit of interest or gain a little bit of information? Well, who else is called? Who else is interested? Now you know who's looking for a winger. Now you know who's looking for a defenseman, whatever the conversation was about.
It's good due diligence.
And he just does it constantly.
And that's what makes him so good.
So because of that, that gives you like a choose your own adventure with 75,000 different options, right? You can go in any direction.
He's like Doctor Strange where he sees all the 14 million possibilities and then tries to find the most optimal one to get the Canes as far as possible.
And then you add in the fact that they have this chunk of cap space, which they do, a good sized chunk of cap space this year. They have the draft picks, right? Because they have the first rounders and everything that they got in the Mikko trade, and they got good draft capital, and some good prospects, right? So they have options there, and I believe, now this is me inferring, reading some tea leaves, that they kept a chunk of that kind of set aside. That's not spending money. That's in case we need to go get a second line center money. And we got to wait to see which teams tumble and which second-line centers become available. Is it a rental? Is it this? Whatever. But Logan Stankoven's played, minimum well enough, right? He's a good enough second-line center that you wouldn't have to go force it at the deadline if you don't need to. So now you have all that stuff that you set aside. You can bring back into the spending money pool, and you can play out a million different scenarios. And then on top of that, the Eric Tulsky bumper sticker, right? If I were a Saturday Night Live writer or cast member and they said you have to do an Eric Tulsky impression, you get the hair, right? You probably bring out like an oversized calculator of some kind. You're gonna do the whole thing. You're gonna make it a character. But there's always the phrase, right? If Dana Carvey is doing who was it? George H.W. Bush, Nagandet, right? If Will Ferrell was doing George W. Bush, strategery, right? There's always that one phrase that locks you in. The character phrase for Eric Tulsky would be 20 best skaters in the league.
Yes. Tom Dundon's very aligned on that as well. He's said in the past, our window is every year. There is no contention window that's going to end and then you rebuild. They want to build it to be a contender every year. And I did want to note, in terms of draft capital, I found this pretty interesting. Hurricanes actually only have 3 picks in this upcoming 2026 draft. They have they traded their own first rounder. So they have Dallas's first rounder, and then they have 2 6th-round picks. And those are the only picks they have in 2026. It's kind of weird to see, considering how many draft picks this team has acquired over time and how well they've done in the draft. Now, it kind of is just sort of like a reset, whereas they've used these trades and they've traded them away to acquire players. Like the next 2 years, they have additional picks. They still have the extra first-round pick in 2028 as well as their own. That was from the Mikko Rantanen trade. And they also have an additional 3rd-round pick in 2027 from that trade still sitting in the arsenal. So I don't know if they'll be moving any of the picks for this upcoming draft just because they have so few right now. Like they have none between the 2nd and 5th round. But still a good amount of capital in some future years. And it'll be interesting to see if they end up moving that 2nd Dallas pick in 2028 or not. I think that's going to be the main piece that they have that's available if they do decide to go add someone at some point this year.
The only thing I would add to that is I don't know if there's a lot of room for players in the next 2 or 3 years that you would expect to be rising up. Obviously, you want to keep the depth of your farm system, your minor league system as quality as you possibly can. But there's a bit of a log jam, especially at the forward spot where, your first-round pick in this upcoming year is going to likely have to slot behind the Bradley Nadeaus of the world and kind of the line, unless they're supernatural players. They just have a core locked up for a long time. I do want to move on quickly here, just because, it's the Adam Gold Show. You get caught up on hockey, or you're just going to keep letting it roll. I want to talk CFP rankings because I've had a bit of an awakening here. Yesterday, the CFP rankings, the 2nd edition came out Tuesday, right? And then Wednesday was spent with pure panic in the ACC world, which is obviously the world I live in, and I think many of you live in. Pure panic, right? The ACC, you started being reminded that, the way that the college football playoff is written, it's not the 4 power conference champions and the highest ranked group of 5 champion. It's just the 5 highest ranked conference champions, which means there's no 100% guarantee the ACC would even get anyone in the college football playoff. And there's all this, look, the eye test is keeping them down in the rankings, and the highest ranked is 15th Miami, and they can't even win the ACC without a ton of help based on where they are in the ACC standings. With another sleep on it, I don't feel bad for the ACC. You got to win. You got to win. Miami's 15th, Georgia Tech 16th, Virginia 19th, Louisville 20th, Pitt 22nd. You got to win. And guess what? All of you have reasons for why you're not up there. Miami lost to Louisville and SMU. Georgia Tech got lit up by NC State's offense and are still fine as long as they don't lose again. Virginia lost to Wake Forest 16-9. No disrespect to Wake Forest, but Virginia was supposed to be a team built on offense. Louisville lost to Virginia. That's all right. And Cal. Pitt lost to West Virginia and Louisville in back-to-back weeks. And guess what? All of them still have the world in front of them. If they don't suffer any more losses, any of them, they'll make it to the ACC championship likely, and they'll have a chance to win the conference. And if they do, they're almost 100% guaranteed to go to the CFP. And if any of them win out and win the conference, they will definitely go to the CFP. I've become what I dislike the most. The thing that I think should be most important in a CFP, in a college football playoff committee, the thing that I think should be most important is the ability to control your destiny. I think every single team in the entire FBS should start their season knowing if we go undefeated, win our conference, we're in the college football playoff. And I believe that's true. And then you should know if we lose a game or two, but we get our act together and we win our conference, we should be in. And if we're not, it's just our fault because we lost. Now, we're going to argue, and we will, And you will, and your friends will, and everybody will. You'll argue about the teams that lost 2 or 3 games on who's more deserving, and that's fine. But let's be real. Let's be honest about what we're arguing about there. We're arguing about who gets a second chance. We're arguing about who gets a lifeline. We're arguing about who gets saved and gets to try again. And if you don't get the opportunity to have a second chance, I don't know if we should feel that much pity. I think you should be wildly grateful if you do get a second chance. But think about it like this. Every single team I just read in the ACC, who the world is so upset about that they're 15th and lowest, and I was upset about yesterday that they're 15th and lower. If it's a 14 playoff, they're eliminated. If it's the old BCS, 0.0 chance because of the losses we already talked about. Pitt loses to West Virginia and Louisville 15 years ago. Thanks for playing. Dunzo. But instead, win out and you get the extra chance. You have the extra lifeline. Do SEC teams maybe get a third chance? Fine. But you can't, once you give up your chance, you can't be mad that other people are getting other multiple chances. You're asking for your multiple chance. You get to finish it on the field. That's all you can ask for. Your playoffs start today. That's all you can ask for. It's the same argument I give every March Madness when the 66th team in the country is furious because they didn't make the 68. I'm going, well, you could have been in the top 65. At what point are you going to turn around and look at the person in the mirror and recognize you are asking for a 37th chance here? If you can't be in the top 50, can you really be that mad? And that's what it comes down to. The day that the NCAA tournament snubs the 32nd best team, right? The day that the NCAA tournament takes a top 10 team and says, ooh, just missed at large, that team can be mad. Right? The day that the college football playoff ranking takes an undefeated third best team in the country and goes, didn't make the top 12. That team can be mad. That conference can be furious. But if you're like, hey, this team only lost to Louisville and SMU, they deserve to be in, it's going like, well, or hear me out. They could have not lost to SMU. That's Miami's thing. If you're arguing like someone else is less deserving than me, well, neither of you are deserving. We're going to give one of you a second chance, and we'll decide. This is the Adam Gold Show. I'm Tim Donnelly sitting in. I'm sure Adam will love that one. Max Gorin producing the show, and we'll both jump into some placing of our bets and the 7th inning stretch after this.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Scams increase during the Medicare open enrollment period, so stay alert. Never give your Medicare, Social Security, credit card, or bank account numbers to anyone who contacts you unexpectedly and claims to be from Medicare. Your caller ID may show Medicare's name or phone, but caller ID can be spoofed. Just hang up. Visit ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
We had to exit the home pretty quickly because of how quickly the water came in. It was just really vital to me whenever all the public service announcements were going out, that we needed to get our water tested.
We need to, get in the field and start helping people disinfect their water supplies.
It's really critical to their health to be able to have that safe drinking water.
They were reaching out to me to make sure that I knew that there were resources available.
NC Public Health. Everywhere, every day, everyone.
You don't need a 4-year degree to have a rewarding career that makes a difference in people's lives every day. As a public power line worker, you'll build and maintain a locally owned and operated electric system to keep the lights on in your community. 4 months in a community college program provides the training you need to begin your career as an apprentice line worker in public power. And being a local government employee in North Carolina comes with excellent benefits. To learn more about line worker and other public power careers, visit electricities.com.
From the food we eat to the clothes we wear, agriculture touches every corner of our daily lives. I'm Lee Ivey, Director of the Agricultural Institute at NC State University. With the world's population growing, we need people equipped and trained to meet the needs of our future. In our program, we rise to meet that challenge every day, and our students are engaged and invested. Learn more about our program online by searching NC State Ag Institute. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. This month, we dive into a project that's making big waves in Charlotte and beyond. It's called The Pearl, a bold reimagining of how healthcare, education, and innovation come together. My guest, Hillary Crittenden, leads operations for The Pearl and has played an important role in its growth and development.
The Pearl is an innovation district. We brought together medical education, cutting-edge research, and really big and small players in the healthcare space who are advancing science in a really interesting way, all together in one place.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And find out more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, you're more than a policy, you're family. With offices in every county, we're close by when it matters most. Our local agents customize coverage to fit your life. And our award-winning claims team delivers fast, quality repairs. It's no surprise Forbes ranked us the #1 auto insurer in America. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
This is Adam Gold.
80-second mark, I scream in the booth. I screamed in the booth. Why the heck is he still on the ice?
Did you say it in Finnish?
I should have.
Yes.
No, he wouldn't. He curses in English.
He does.
All right, 2 seconds later, he scored.
Yes.
And I went, oh, that's why. That's what.
The Adam Gold Show.
This is the Adam Gold Show. If you've been enjoying the show today, my name is Tim Donnelly, and I also host The Drive with Tim Donnelly, which in the Triangle in North Carolina airs immediately after this show, the Adam Gold Show, on 99.9 The Fan. If you're in one of the other markets that also hears the Adam Gold Show, you can find us on our 99.9 The Fan YouTube. You can download the 99.9 The Fan app. Take us with you anywhere, right there on your phone, in your pocket, available to Google Play or App Store. And I encourage you to check it out, right? Maybe you get some more stuff that you enjoy listening and talking about. And if you don't enjoy it, well, then, of course, my name is like Joe Davis, and I'm from Albuquerque, and you should go light that guy up.
Well, this is the Adam Gold Show, so clearly you must be Adam Gold.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't want. You got to leave a place better than you found it, right? I'm not on Adam, but if you do enjoy it, seriously, check out The Drive with Tim Donnelly. I'd greatly appreciate it. Here on the Adam Gold Show, around this time every day, we hit something we call the 7th inning stretch. All right, what are we stretching, Max?
Well, there was a world record that apparently was set yesterday in Australia. So let me get the exact number here. It looks like it was 374 bagpipers got together to set, I guess, the world record for largest bagpipe performance or most bagpipers performing a song at the same time. They did AC/DC's It's a Long Way to the Top. At what is called the Great Melbourne Bagpipe Bash in Melbourne, Australia. Apparently, AC/DC did a movie or a music video in 1976 in Melbourne driving around a truck and playing their music.
Okay.
Playing It's a Long Way to the Top. So now everyone gathered up there yesterday and performed it. It is confirmed to be, at least via the Australian Book of Records, to break the record. It was previously 333 bagpipers in Bulgaria in 2012. Guinness World Records confirmed the Bulgarian record, but said they were not approached to assess the Melbourne record attempt. So Australian Book of Records, it counts. Guinness Book of World Records, no good. I guess
you're bringing me nonsense. If Guinness doesn't co-sign, I'm out.
Regardless, 374 people with bagpipes gathered and were going crazy in Melbourne yesterday ahead of a AC/DC tour stop. So
if it's not in that like a 1.5 foot tall hardback Guinness Book of World Records book that you could get at the Scholastic Book Fair in 1999, if it's not in that Guinness book, I don't entertain it.
All right, and then another story here. A popular sports channel is finally coming back to YouTube TV. I am, of course, talking about NBC Sports Network, not ESPN. NBC Sports Network is coming back to life. The network that got shut down in 2021. I have fond memories of it. They used to have NHL games on there, among other things. They're bringing it back. It's actually going to launch on Monday, and it's actually going to be first available on YouTube TV. And the lineup of stuff they're going to have on NBC Sports Network is actually, it's pretty stacked. Monday night NBA games and NBA playoffs. Expected to include dozens of MLB regular season and select postseason games in a soon-to-be-announced agreement. Going to have Premier League soccer matches. Olympic Gold Zone, hosted by Scott Hansen, will be back for the Milan Cortina Olympic Winter Games coming in February. WNBA regular season playoffs, Big Ten Notre Dame football, Big Ten, Big East, and Big 12 men's and women's basketball, golf, cycling, Kentucky Derby, and Kentucky Oaks undercard races. There's going to be a lot of stuff on this new relaunched NBC Sports Network. So now all that's left is for them to get the NHL rights back from ESPN, and I can relive my childhood nostalgia of watching the games of the week. But yeah, NBC Sports Network coming back to YouTube TV before ESPN. I think if you told someone that a few weeks ago, they'd be like, what are you talking about? That channel doesn't even exist anymore.
I'm with you that the more sports content, the better. I do want to point this out to everybody. In certain locations, our station is a ESPN affiliate. You should complain to somebody else about ESPN not being on YouTube. I can't help you. When somebody jumps in my DMs about ESPN being greedy and everything, we're an affiliate. We're partners.
We are not ESPN TV.
I don't run ESPN. I'm not Disney. I don't know the top of Disney. So I wish I did, but I can't help you. So just spend that energy elsewhere.
All right, and now it's time for us to place our bets.
Place your bets, place your bets. Here we are. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you nothing.
All right, how you want to do this, Max? You want to go 1-1-1-1 or 3 at a time?
Yeah, sure. No, we can go back and forth.
All right, you want to lead off or you want me to go?
I'll lead off here. We got a couple hockey games on the slate tonight. We got Toronto taking on the LA Kings up there north of the border. Toronto actually a slight underdog in this one, so I'm going to go with the Leafs money line plus 114. They've been off to kind of a hot and cold start this year. Hurricanes, of course, came back and beat them in Toronto on Sunday, but LA not been off to the best start either this year, and I think just that East Coast home game kind of plays to the Leafs' advantage a little bit, so I will go with Toronto money line at plus 114.
I don't think we have a big enough sample size to go hockey. You got to bet a lot for it to make sense. So I'm going the Thursday night football game. Give me Drake May, anytime touchdown scorer. These Thursday games are ugly. That means blown coverages, missed routes, quarterbacks running. Drake May, touchdown.
I'll go with a play from Thursday Night Football tonight. I'm going to go with Bryce Hall to score the first touchdown. That's plus 1,000. I think it's fairly rare you see a team starting running back get that good of odds for a first touchdown score. It's usually in the mid, I want to say plus 400 to plus 800 range. So I feel like there's good value there. And Bryce Hall's on my fantasy team. So, which, by the way, I left it up on my computer yesterday, and I came back, and you said my fantasy team was stacked,
solid.
Which was quite a compliment. So, Bryce Hall, first touchdown, that's at plus 1,000.
By the way, Drake May to score was plus 190. My next one's also a Bryce Hall bet. 25 or more receiving yards, plus 165.
I like that.
I think they're going to do everything they can to get some kind of a passing game, which means check down screens, and he's really dynamic in space, plus 165.
And my last pick, I'm going to go back to hockey. San Jose Sharks taking on the Calgary Flames this year. I'm going to take one of the Sharks' young studs, Will Smith, to score a goal, anytime goal scorer, plus 260. He's been off to a hot start. The pairing with him and Macklin Celebrini, the former first overall pick, has been really, really fun to watch. And they're playing a Calgary team that is just trying to get to the end of the season. They are fully in a rebuild. They are tanking. So I will go with Will Smith, anytime goal, plus 260.
All right, this next one, I want to be clear here. I think Drake May is rightfully one of the betting favorites to win the MVP. But I am taking a player to get a sack tonight from the Jets, specifically Will McDonald. One or more sack for Will McDonald. It's plus 149. With the reason simply being, Will McDonald had 4 in a game recently. And I think sacks come in bunches. And Drake May does try to extend plays and things and occasionally take some sacks, even though he's doing really well on the move. And it's Thursday. It's ugly football, like I mentioned. So Will McDonald for a sack, plus 149 is what I'm looking for there. And hopefully it all hits. And you could parlay them all together. Wouldn't be a bad, at least the 3 for mine, a little same-game parlay would be plus 1,600. I don't do well on parlays, but I suggest them a lot, so take that with a grain of salt. This is the Adam Gold Show. I'm Tim Donnelly sitting in for Adam Gold. We do have the Wall of Sound, which is, I'd say, much more dramatic in name than it is in real life. It's actually pretty fun, lighthearted in real life. We get to the Wall of Sound next on the Adam Gold Show. Don't go anywhere.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
Shoot, he scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and as the Carolina Hurricanes shoot for their 8th consecutive playoff appearance, that's right, 8 in a row, that's not the goal, I should remind you. The goal is being, as Rod Brindamore likes to say, the last team standing. What do they need? Who will get them there? You know where you can find the answers on every episode of the Canes Corner podcast, live on YouTube after games, and wherever you get your podcast. Rate, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
Holiday scratch-offs, what a gift, it lets them dream just for a bit.
Ski trip, cruise ship, sports car, pristine yard, courtside seats, fancy meats, holiday scratch-offs can't be beat.
Give the gift of what if from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.19 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
I am here with Patrick Day of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I'm on your website. Gutter helmets right on the front of the website. Do you have a gutter helmet to fit my head? I have a small head.
We have a gutter helmet for every head, Adam. So anyhow, if you give us a call, we'll come out and take a look at your windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, and of course we can do the gutter helmet. We have financing programs that are really good. So we have like 12 months with 0 payments for 12 months. You don't have to pay anything. So if you're thinking about home improvements and you're thinking you're saving up for it, just come on and see us and we'll go ahead and get you set up and get your project done, and you can pay in 12 months from now.
I feel like you're speaking directly to me. If it's for the exterior of your home, there is no better place than the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You can find them online, aluminumcompany.com. Siding, roofing, windows, entry doors, storm doors, and the world-famous gutter helmets. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 1-800-672-4348.
Hey, it's Amanda here, back again with my friend Coach Pete. Coach, I said growing up, I want like 5 people in my circle, my board of advisors. You're one of them.
Thank you.
I look up to you. And that's kind of how I should be looking at my finances. I need to get all these bad apples out, all these people, all these negative Nancys out of my friend circle. I need to be doing the same thing with my money.
Mom used to say if you had a bad apple in with the other apples, all the other apples would get bad.
That's right.
And I saw that one time. They all get rotten. So get rid of the rotten one quick and preserve your circle, as you say. the circle gets smaller as we get older, doesn't it?
Yep.
So I am in a lot of folks' circle when it comes to retirement because I do plans, and when the plans that I put in writing, they actually come true. There's no Cinderella 12 o'clock turning into a pumpkin. We don't have pumpkin plans. We have total Cinderella slipper plans. And so if you want your own plan that gives you lifetime income and puts you in control of retirement, call us right now.
919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Hello? I'm a Marine. It took me a long time to make this call.
If you or a veteran in your life is experiencing thoughts of suicide, dial 988, then press 1 to reach the Veterans Crisis Line.
Guys, don't propose with a ring that she didn't pick out. Trust us, she already has a ring in mind. So engage with Gage Diamonds, in person or online, where Gage's skilled ring designers will work with her to create the perfect setting, matched with the perfect stone. Gage specializes in exquisite lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
You're listening to The Adam Gold Show.
The Hoosiers break the huddle with a synchronized 11-man clap. Same formation. Shotgun. 2 receivers right. Cooper in the slot. Becker to the near side left. A lift of the left leg. The snap is back. The pressure's on. Mendoza throws back in the end zone. Leaping grab. Touchdown! Wow. The Hoosiers take the lead with 36 seconds to go. Omar Cooper with his toe down on the second N in Penn State. And it's Indiana 26 and Penn State 24.
That was a wild play. Outlandish play for Indiana. I'm Tim Donnelly. This is the Adam Gold Show, just so everybody knows who you're talking to. 2 things on that play, and I've talked about it a lot. If you were unaware, that was the end of the Indiana-Penn State game. Penn State, if you smoke them if you got them, they left it all on the field trying to get one spoiler win over Indiana. And Fernando Mendoza, the former Cal quarterback, comes up with the pass, and Cooper with one of the crazier body control catches we've seen. 2 things. 1, I've said this for a while. Why don't defensive coordinators teach the shove of anybody that catches it near the sideline? They're always like, the defensive back was going after the ball. Just as soon as he jumps near the sideline, as soon as he catches it, push him out of bounds. Force out isn't a thing anymore. It used to be, which was the dumbest rule ever. He would have landed inbounds, but he was forced out in the NFL, and they'd have to judge that. It's not the case, even in the NFL. The guy jumped like 8 feet in the air. He caught it up near the field goal post. Just shove him out of bounds, and you win the game. And secondly, the lesson I would say you could learn from Virginia in the ACC is, every team that has a great season is going to escape with 1 or 2. If you're flirting with loss every single week, eventually it's going to catch you, and you're going to lose a game to Wake Forest, which is exactly what Virginia did. Indiana, Oregon this week, right? Some of the top teams in the country flirted with some pretty bad losses, came out on the other side with wins. Happens once or twice. All right, it's going to happen. Good thing you came away with the win. No harm, no foul. Don't let it happen too many times, or else you might get caught in one that you can't escape from. This is the Adam Gold Show. I'm Tim Donnelly. Max Gorin producing the show. It is time for the Wall of Sound.
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
Now, when I fill in for Adam, we do the Wall of Sound a little bit differently. I like to be surprised. I like a little spontaneity. So I've told Max to grab the best clips, the best sound bites, whatever he could find. He'll set them up, and I'll hear them maybe for the first time. I don't know what they are. Maybe I've heard them before. Maybe I haven't. But I'll be learning about them along with all of you. Max, what do we have?
All right, so news broke, I believe it was 2 days ago now. The Dallas Mavericks fired general manager Nico Harrison, famously behind the Luka Doncic trade to Los Angeles. So Luka Doncic was asked yesterday his thoughts on Nico Harrison being fired by the Dallas Mavericks. Here's what he had to say.
City of Dallas, the fans, players, they always have a special place in my heart. You know, I thought I was gonna stay there forever, but I didn't. So they'll always be a special place for me. Always I can call it home. But right now I'm focused on the Lakers. You know, trying to move on. But obviously, always there's gonna be part of me in there. But just trying to move on, focus on what we're doing here.
All right, first of all, the trade was ridiculous. Shouldn't have ever happened. It did. And Luka's right to take the high road there and not be like, ha-ha, trade me, get fired.
It was a very professional answer for sure, but you can kind of tell he's still kind of is feeling the hurt from that already.
Absolutely.
What is it, like 8 or 9 months later now? Since it was like February of last year when that went down. So everybody remembers where they were because that was like just an absolute blockbuster, the likes of which we might not see for a long time.
The part that I'm sure hurt a little bit more was Mark Cuban running the Mavericks. It never happens, right? Him and Dirk, if Dirk wanted to play till he's 80, Dirk Nowitzki, Cuban would have been there signing him to an $800 million a year check, right? Whatever the inflation gets up to when he's 85 years old. It would have worked, and that's how it operated. I think that's why Mark Cuban was such a player's owner. New owner comes in, you don't have that protection anymore, right? You get them a little bit more cold-hearted, and they listen to a GM that they shouldn't have listened to, move on from a player they shouldn't have moved on from, and now jobs are being lost. I tend to believe if you got an all-time great, you keep the all-time great, you figure out the rest. You got the hard part. Now you got to go to a also hard part, but not as hard part.
Probably stings extra at the start of this year for Mavs fans, given they've not been off to the best start, and Luka's averaging like 40 points a game so far to start this season.
You have to hope that like Cooper Flagg plays 10 years longer than Luka. And about 3 years into Luka being retired and Cooper Flagg hopefully still being something special, they can go like, oh, okay, all right, now it's better. Because if that doesn't happen, then why'd you make the trade at all?
I guess Luka had a little bit of a comeback to earth last night. They were playing the Thunder. He only had 19 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. So that drops his season averages now to 35, 9, and 9. So
loser.
It's not even a triple-double. They don't even have to worry about that anymore. All right, we'll switch gears now to the NFL. Got Thursday Night Football tonight between the Patriots and the Jets. Patriots have been red hot, ripped off 5 or 6 wins in a row now. First place in the AFC East. Jeff Saturday was talking about whether he thinks the Patriots are legitimate Super Bowl contenders.
They are a team we can talk about. I mean, like you said, you look at their schedule. They have a very favorable schedule. The way they're playing, the confidence in which they're playing with. When you saw them in Tampa and the way not only that Drake May and Stephon Diggs are playing, but their running game. It's running back by committee, and they are physical on the edges. They get bodies moving, and you can see the way they have mimicked Mike Vrabel's kind of attitude, right? And you're watching Josh McDaniels develop Drake May. All the things are going right, and their defense is getting better, giving up less explosive plays than they kind of did early. This is a team to be reckoned with. Again, they're going to walk in because they'll have confidence. Whether they deserved it or not, this team believes in themselves.
Well, let's be clear here. That is a UNC guy, Jeff Saturday, talking about a UNC guy and Drake May. So maybe a little, just put biases on Front Street. It's 7 straight wins for the Patriots, by the way. Here's the only thing I would say about their contenderdom, if they're certified, authenticated contenders. It would be pretty rare to jump into contenderdom and win anything of significance the same year. Traditionally, the timeline is you put together a really good team and you got to go learn your lessons the hard way against a more grizzled and battle-torn contender, usually in the postseason.
It's usually more of a build, and Jeff Saturday mentioned it in the cut there. Like their schedule this year has been bafflingly easy. They have not exactly had to face, but they did win. They beat a very solid Bucs team last week. And then if you want to be a contender, you're going to have to face, obviously, playoff teams when you get to the postseason. So it's kind of hard to tell, I think, for me. They definitely are a good team. They've improved quite a bit, and Drake May is starting to make that step. But it's so hard for us to really determine like where they're at because of the schedule that they've played and they're continuing to play this season. Here's
my blanket statement when people start talking about like they haven't played anybody. And this goes for every sport. True, right? I'm not here to argue that like, you know, when you go New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland back to back to back that it's some kind of murderer's row. But it's the same philosophy for me. Like if we'll use basketball as an example. College basketball is going. If you're a really good college basketball team and you're playing the team picked to finish 10th in the Sun Belt, and it's close at half, nobody is sitting around saying, okay, now the really good team isn't very good, and now the bad team from the Sun Belt is actually awesome. But what do they say? Well, the longer you let them hang around, the more their confidence builds, and then anything is possible, right? If you have an easy schedule and you're winning all of the games, your confidence is going to build regardless. And then when you get into the better games, the better teams later on, you don't know what you're not supposed to know, right? You don't know that you're not a good team. You think you belong, so you go out there, you're comfortable, you're relaxed, and who knows what can happen. So, you know, they've, like you said, they've played an easier schedule. They did beat Tampa on the road. They did beat Buffalo on the road. They're coming up on the Jets, the Bengals, and the Giants. If you roll through those three, which is more than possible, you have 10 straight wins. Find me a team in NFL history, 10 straight wins that wasn't a good team. I don't care what their schedule is.
I don't think there's any denying that they're a good team, but can they contend to win the Super Bowl, I guess, is the real question.
It's probably a bit early, but they have to go into a big playoff run and lose and learn. And then, you know, maybe 2 or 3 years from now is when the contenderdom starts to pay off.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably favored to win. I mean, based on if they win the next 3 games, they're up to 11-2. Then they play the Bills and the Ravens, and they could win one of those. But just assuming that they lose those 2, just because it's a tough matchup, and then they have another matchup with the Jets and the Dolphins to finish. So you have to figure they're favored to win about 13 games at this point, which is more than likely going to be enough to win the AFC East, unless the Bills win out from here on out. So it's quite a jump for them. Obviously, the Vrabel hire is going to be, one of the best of this cycle, if not the best.
The short answer to the question is, yes, they are a contender. They will not be my pick out of the contenders, right? I
think that's fair.
You're in the cool kids group, but you're not the homecoming king. And that's fair for where you are in your development.
Absolutely. It's been a quick build for them. So, I mean, congrats on all their success. It's good to see a kind of a local product and Drake May making such great strides and being such an accurate passer. It's wild how many of his passes he completes. So let's hear from the other side, though. They're taking on the Jets tonight. Obviously, have had their struggles, many of them. They've traded away some of their good pieces, but they did get a win last week. So this is what head coach Aaron Glenn had to say about what to anticipate against the Patriots tonight.
Well, I don't know what their blueprint is. I just know they got a good amount of guys as far as free agents. And I just know Vrabel. We have our own blueprint of what we're trying to build here, and everybody's different. So, but obviously they're doing a good job of what they're doing.
There is a lesson there as well. And sometimes I think, I don't know if I've said this on the Adam Gold Show. I say this on my show all the time. I think I should start a business, right? Max, you're coming with me. You'll be in my C-suite.
What's the starting salary?
We'll negotiate off air. That's uncouth to do it on air. What I'm calling the name is 10 minutes to the podium. And all I do is every time a player or a coach for one of the teams that contracts my company is when they are about to go to a press conference, 10 minutes before they step to the microphone, they call me. And for 10 minutes, I talk them through what's going to be asked and what their answers are. And I remind them things like, you're not under oath at the podium. I remind them things like, just because they ask doesn't mean you have to answer. But if you're not answering their question, give them at least 80 seconds of nonsense, right? Don't just say, I'm not answering. Give them jumbo, word salad, make it crazy.
That's kind of what we got there from Aaron Glenn, is that what you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is one of the things I would remind coaches all the time, and this is what he was talking about with Vrabel, is I believe teams take on the image of their coach. So every time you're in public, every time you're in front of the team, think about that, right? Do you want your team to take on the image of what you are projecting, what you're saying, what you're doing? I think Mike Vrabel wildly is aware of that. He pays attention to details. If you go to a press conference right now for the New England Patriots, he will not start unless the first question is asked by a female reporter, a woman reporter. He's been doing it since Tennessee. Why? Because he and he'll tell you, he thinks it's a difficult industry for women to get started in, women in sports. So, boom, he always has one that he goes to first. You can agree or disagree with the thing. He pays attention to the details. Yeah, the team takes upon his image. Well, it's going to be detail-oriented. It's going to pay attention to everything. Aaron Glenn. Remember Aaron Glenn for the Jets? They thought they won a game. He was dancing on the sideline, high-stepping, big windmill arms. They lost that game. Probably not what you want to have everybody doing. You ask him right now who's the starting quarterback. Do you know what Aaron Glenn says? I'm not telling you. Is it Justin Fields? Is it Tyrod Taylor? I'm not telling you. I'm not. Oh, and you're surprised that the Jets look confused on game day. Like it's right there. 10 minutes to the podium. Patent that. Once we have more clients, Max, I'm going to need you taking some of the calls right after a game. If we have the home and away team, I can't be prepping them both. So
I thought I was C-suite, and now I'm taking calls.
Well, I'm doing it. I'm the owner.
Oh, okay. It's one of those.
Lead from the front.
Yeah,
Max.
it's one of those type of places. Okay, I got you.
I'm sweeping the floors over here. You're already complaining about having to do any work.
It sounded like a cushy C-suite job. I didn't know I was going to have to do all that.
No, this isn't like a spot on the board. This isn't a no-show 3 times a year deal.
I thought this was like what was the tree planting company, Aspire? Or
oh.
I thought this was one of those type of deals.
Yeah, we're going to endorse Kawhi. That's the first bit of business. This is the Adam Gold Show. I'm Tim Donnelly. That voice here is Max Gorin. He's producing the show, sitting in for Victoria today. When we come back, Bill Belichick is focused on Wake Forest. What does that say about the state of the Tar Heels? Next.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
He scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
By this point in the season, the Panthers have proven Plan A works. It's D&D, it's Dowdle, and defense. The next question is, do they have a Plan B? On a day when Rico Dowdle isn't picking up 6 yards a carry, can they still win? And that question falls on the footsteps of Bryce Young. He may have to throw them into a game. Can he?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, and welcome to the start of the new NFL week. And Thursday means it's the Thursday touchdown jackpot on FanDuel, giving you a chance to share $2 million in bonus bets. All you got to do, pick an anytime touchdown scorer, and there are a lot of options, including somebody named Mason Taylor of the Jets, who I believe is a country music star. And if that person scores the first or last touchdown, you get a share of $2 million in bonus bets. FanDuel.com/Adam Gold. FanDuel.com/Adam Gold. Hit the jackpot with FanDuel. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus is issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Every season can be punishing for your roof. Mother Nature is a fierce opponent that doesn't take a break, which is why you need RoofWorks on your building maintenance team. Hi, this is Holly from RoofWorks. We specialize in keeping your commercial roof in great condition no matter what the issue may be. We offer roof inspections, roof repairs, and if needed, a full roof replacement. We help determine if there's a problem with your roof and advise you on the most cost-effective way to handle it. Contact us today at roofworks.com. That's RoofWorks.com.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
If you see a student being bullied, be supportive. Ask if they're okay and invite them to join you. You'll be an ally, and you can make a friend. Friendship! Visit StopBullyingSpeakUp.com and join Cartoon Network to redraw your world without bullying.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
Is he married to a person or just himself? Because that, I feel like that's very Aaron Rodgers-y of him to have the twist in there.
It's a very good question.
So, I don't know. We still don't know if it's a person.
Would he get down on one knee to ask himself over an ayahuasca?
Yes.
The Adam Gold Show.
This is the Adam Gold Show. Thank you for rocking with us today. I'm Tim Donnelly, filling in for Adam. Got the day off. Max Gorn filling in for Victoria. She also got the show off. Hopefully, we're living up to standard, or at least close to, right? We're doing our best. I mean, what do you do when you fill in, right? You got to play the hits. Let's talk a little Bill Belichick at UNC, shall we? I have to admit, I thought what I'm about to say was fake at first. Right? You know how the internet goes. Is it like Adam Schefter tweeting it, or is it Adam Scheffler? Is it Photoshop? Is it AI? You got to look into everything. So yesterday afternoon, it was sometime after my show, so evening. I started to see social media, multiple posts about Bill Belichick being one of the betting favorites to to be named the next head coach of the New York Giants. And I went, all right. Y'all really like poking fun at this guy. Let me go click around. And then, yeah, sure enough, DraftKings Sportsbook, Covers.com, few different places were putting up odds. And Bill Belichick was the second best odds of being named the New York Football Giants' next head football coach. The only person in the world with shorter odds than Bill Belichick was Mike McCarthy. And kind of, I'll put them all in the same mix. The Mike McCarthy was plus 700. Mike Kafka, the current interim head coach for the Giants and their offensive coordinator for this season, plus 900. And then in the mix, Bill Belichick, John Gruden, Clint Kubiak, all between those two. So between plus 700 and plus 900, those 5 names. Well, first of all, as I said earlier, one good month of defense for the UNC Tar Heels can completely change, I guess, the way the world looks at Bill Belichick, huh? This is the ultimate example of, if you are ever in any kind of a controversy, if you are ever in any kind of a scandal, if you are ever in any kind of anything that has the public at large not speaking highly of you, and you are in the sports world, I don't know if you should call a PR firm. I don't know if you should call a publicist. I don't know if you should hide out. The thing that you should 100% do, get in the gym, get in the film room, get better. Because if you start performing better, they'll find ways to put all of the everything else and sweep it under the rug. Right? Bill Belichick's defense started holding teams to like 15 points per game, and suddenly no one has any more jokes about his girlfriend. They win a couple of games, back-to-back games. They beat Syracuse. They beat Stanford. Suddenly, not only should he go retire quietly to Nantucket or wherever he goes, suddenly he's the second betting favorite to be the New York Giants head football coach.
That's really all it takes.
There's not a darn thing in sports that winning can't solve.
Beat 2 of the 4 worst teams in the ACC. Hey, man, you want to come back to the NFL?
Oh, he's still got it. Look at the improvement. That guy, he knows more football than any of us. Can't believe we were so early on writing his obituary in the football world. What a month of good defense. Now, listen, I don't think it's real. I think part of it is sportsbooks know that Bill Belichick has certain followers that will bet on him to be the next coach, kind of regardless of what the numbers are. So why give a huge payout when you don't have to? That way, if the wildly improbable happens, you're not paying through the teeth. So it's, sportsbooks aren't exactly always predicting. They're a lot of times predicting the market and how they expect the bettors to place bets. But it's still, his name is in the mix. His name is in the mix. I don't think it's going to happen. I won't be betting on it to happen. Of those names, I actually think probably Kubiak would be the one that's most likely, or Mike McCarthy, but he's betting favorite, so I'm not breaking news there. This is part of the Bill Belichick story. This is part of what you get when you hire Bill Belichick. Can you imagine what the buzz would be if UNC was a game over 500? If they were one of the 8 teams still alive for the ACC championship, can you imagine what the buzz would be with so many openings across the country and some NFL ones already popping up? That's good for recruiting. It's great for recruiting. Bill Belichick, we have the audio here of him saying that he is focused on Wake Forest and he's committed to North Carolina. Max, can you go ahead and fire that one up for us?
Yeah, getting ready for Wake Forest. That's all I got this week.
Has anyone asked you, or the players or recruits want to know about your future?
I mean, I've been asked about it from time to time, but yeah, I've been down this road before. I'm focused on Wake Forest. That's it. And that's my commitment to this team. And next week it'll be to our next opponent and so forth. But, I'm here to do the best I can for this team.
In the immediate wake of when it was first reported that Bill Belichick was the potential next head coach of North Carolina, there were jokes on Twitter that he would eventually say something like, "We're on to Wake Forest" or "We're on to Boston College," and now it's real, and now it's real. And we never could have imagined we got here, but here we are, where Bill Belichick is the head coach of North Carolina, and he's having to say, "I'm focused on Wake Forest." It's beautiful. It's what a world that we live in. This is our reality.
Syracuse. We're on to Syracuse.
We're on to SMU.
We're on to Eastern Michigan. It's great for UNC football. If I were a coach, I would pay a reporter. I'd get some super homer blogger to come to a press conference twice a year and just ask me if I'm turning down the Monstars, right? What are the rumors of you taking Team USA basketball? It's well, I'm a football coach, but I understand they want a leader of men, and I will support anybody that coaches Team USA. But right now, I am focused on in the CA. I'm focused on Richmond.
That reminds me of if it's on Twitter or somewhere online and someone's replying, there's an attractive woman or something, and they're they tweet at them or something trying to ask them out or get their attention, whatever, and then everybody in the comments is hey man, thanks for letting me use your Lamborghini yesterday to go pick up my mom from the hospital. That was huge. Oh, I appreciate you loaning me that $10,000 and then telling me I didn't need to pay it back, man. Very generous of you.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what's happening for Bill Belichick right now. Because a month ago, the world was telling everybody, recruits, current players, transfer portal targets, potential high school coaches that might, be contacted by you in the future, was telling everybody, nobody believes in this guy anymore. Nobody wants him. He had to leave the NFL because nobody cared about him. He's lost it. The game's passed him by. That's what the thing was 5-6 weeks ago. Now he's the second betting favorite for the Giants. Every press conference he should start with, I know there are rumors out there. I do not want the New York Giants job. I do not want the Miami Dolphins job if they move on from Mike McDaniel. I do not want this job. I do not. He should be green eggs and ham. I do not want to coach in the NFL. I do not want to coach in a prison cell. I do not want to coach in the SEC. I do not want to coach you or me. Like, he should be just pointing out all of these things that he is desired by to remind everybody, yeah, I got 6 Super Bowls. My resume, way more good than bad, even with a bad year at UNC and a couple of bad years at the end against for the Patriots. I still have some lore around here. And we'll see if it adds up. We'll see if they can recruit. I know they had some guys flip from their commitment to UNC to some others, but they got a bunch of commitments as well from 4 stars, at least in the area I'm in. I know that they're pretty locked in, which is pretty cool. The Adam Gold Show here on you can check us out on YouTube, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube, live stream, jump in the comments there. You can download the 99.9 The Fan app, or you can just listen exactly how you're listening right now. It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Tim Donnelly sitting in for Adam Gold. We will ask a question that includes Con Knipple of the Charlotte Hornets as one of the subjects. Up next, don't go anywhere.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And here we are again. It is Thursday night, and that means it is time for the Thursday Touchdown Jackpot, where you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. All you got to do, pick an anytime touchdown scorer. If that person scores the first or last touchdown, you win your initial bet, plus you win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Don't pick a Jet. They're probably not going to score. FanDuel.com/AGS. FanDuel.com/AGS for FanDuel. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
When people put their feet under a table, it means more than just consuming food. Getting the restaurant back open, that meant to the community a lot of normalcy. The public health department checked the wells so that we knew where we could get water that was able to be used.
And it was neighbor helping neighbor, and I'm so proud to work in this little small county.
NC Public Health. Everywhere, every day, everyone.
You don't need a 4-year degree to have a rewarding career that makes a difference in people's lives every day. As a public power line worker, you'll build and maintain a locally owned and operated electric system to keep the lights on in your community. 4 months in a community college program provides the training you need to begin your career as an apprentice line worker in public power. And being a local government employee in North Carolina comes with excellent benefits. To learn more about line worker and other public power careers, visit electricities.com.
Agriculture drives our local economy. I'm Lee Ivey, Director of the Agricultural Institute at NC State University, and we are looking for our next generation of leaders. If you want to make a difference and help feed the world, join us at the Ag Institute, where we grow successful graduates, productive futures, and rewarding lifestyles. We offer 2-year degrees and hundreds of internships. Learn more online by searching NC State Ag Institute. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. This month, we dive into a project that's making big waves in Charlotte and beyond. It's called The Pearl, a bold reimagining of how healthcare, education, and innovation come together. My guest, Hillary Crittenden, leads operations for The Pearl and has played an important role in its growth and development.
The Pearl is an innovation district. We brought together medical education, cutting-edge research, and really big and small players in the healthcare space who are advancing science in a really interesting way, all together in one place.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And find out more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
Is he married to a person or just himself? Because I feel like that's very Aaron Rodgers-y of him to have the twist in there.
It's a very good question.
So, I don't know. We still don't know if it's a person.
Would he get down on one knee to ask himself over an ayahuasca?
Yes.
The Adam Gold Show.
The Adam Gold Show. Tim Donnelly here, filling in for Adam today. I believe he'll be back tomorrow to help you round out the week and obviously get ready for a Canes game tomorrow night. So that's what you can plan for tomorrow. For today, you got me. You got Max Gorin sitting in for Victoria as well. Max, I'm going to put this one on you. So for those of you that don't know Max, and he has filled in for the Adam Gold Show a bunch of times before, Hornets fan.
Unfortunately.
Hey, not things are looking up.
Well, in some aspects.
We'll discuss that in a few different ways. But he's a Hornets fan, and because of that, we update each other on Hornets happenings. And Con Knipple is obviously a Hornets happening right now. So the question we are posing with the what would you call it? An explosion? How would you describe Con Knipple's start to his NBA career?
Honestly, I wouldn't go so far as to say expected, but he's just continuing to do what we saw last season, locally at Duke. He's been the shooter that the Hornets have desperately needed. He's been great connective tissue in making things work on the floor. More than that, especially with the injuries the Hornets have dealt with already to key contributors. I would say probably like an explosive start. I mean, he's had some big scoring nights. He's done some good all-around stuff. I mean, starting from day one, being in the starting lineup, one of many rookies that has been a key contributor for the Hornets so far. I mean, he's just kind of been like do it all.
So, I mean, the stat that's being beaten into the ground is through his first 10 games of his NBA career, he has, 130 points?
150 plus points and 30 plus three-pointers
which is the first time that's happened in NBA history, and everybody with even a loose connection to the Hornets has posted that somewhere or written an article about it. There's a blog, there's a tweet, there's something. So with obviously coming into the season, the favorite to win Rookie of the Year was Con Knipple's college teammate, Cooper Flagg. And now Con Knipple has, along with a couple others, has had an impressive start to his season. The question is, would you take Duke or the field for Rookie of the Year in the NBA?
I feel like if you were to set odds on that right now, Duke would probably be like minus 175. Just because right now, because of if you look at the NBA rookie ladder, Con Knipple is at the top right now. Cooper Flagg is at 3, and I think a lot of that has to do more so with kind of the role they've had to start him in.
Okay.
He's been like the ball handler and the point guard for a team without Kyrie because he's been out with injury, and his adjustment to the league is taking a little bit more time just to kind of get comfortable and everything. But between those two, you got to figure they're 1-3 right now on the rookie ladder. Depends how much you want to count Cedric Coward, too, who was committed to Duke before he went to the draft. He's number 2 on the ladder. So if you counted him as a Duke guy as well, even though he never played at Duke, but he was committed to go there before going to the draft, top 3 guys currently are all Duke or have some kind of Duke connection. I think the only non-Duke right now contender, if you're not counting Coward, like the Coward is one of the best non-actual Duke players to have it. It's VJ Edgecombe with the Sixers.
Yep.
But still, then, if you're only counting Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple as rookie of the year contenders from Duke, that's still probably like a 2 out of 4 chance. 2 out of the 4 best rookies, pretty much objectively, are from Duke. And if Cooper Flagg gets it going at all, you have to feel like, at least based on reputation, he probably has a pretty good chance of winning as well.
So if the odds on it being a Duke player, minus 175, and really it's the odds of it being Cooper Flagg or Con Knipple.
Even though Sion James has also had quite a nice role for the Hornets as well.
He's been playing great. Tyrese Proctor has had his moments with the Cavs already. Kaman Malawash is, I think, more of a long-term project, but they've got options there. But if it's minus 1, so am I getting plus money on the field?
I would say so.
Then I'm taking the field every gosh darn time.
Well, I think Con Knipple, I think he's going to win. It's
very early. And by the way,
it is early. We're like 10 or 11 games in.
I'm super high on both. And I think Cooper Flagg will get better. I think, and I said this before the season, especially if Kyrie can return with some time in the regular season, they're only going to be better because Cooper Flagg has had the ball in his hands so much early in his career. They were my pick to win the national championship last year preseason. I've been excited by those guys for a long time. But Rookie of the Year is a fickle beast. It doesn't always just go to the best stats, right? Because obviously the best stats right now are Con Knipple. A lot of times it's like a role on a good team. It's you get like
it's definitely not going to be the reason Con Knipple wins if he does, because
you get like the random Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah.
You get the Stefan Castles. You get there's some other options there. If you make me pick a winner, I'm picking Cooper Flagg still. I think if it's close, it'll go to the name. It'll go to the jersey. It'll go to Flagg because people just are impressed by him.
It's a safe play, but it kind of leads me into the reason I wanted to have this topic out. It's because it kind of connects, and we're able to sneak some Hornets talk in here, which we don't get to do a ton here at 99.9 The Fan. We're trying to elevate the Hornets, but they have to elevate themselves to become,
they got to earn it. They got to earn it.
Exactly.
We're not giving out segments for free. No
they did
trophies
win last
for
night.
everybody.
They did win last night, but there's a lot of, I think, lazy analysis on Con Knipple heading in. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he is a white player. As that people were like, oh, well,
he's a gym rat, coach's kid.
Yeah.
Deceptively fast.
High floor, low ceiling type of guy. He has potential to be a star guy. Almost like I've seen a lot of comparisons now that he actually hit the floor and shown what he has. A lot of comparisons to Klay Thompson. He is a great shooter. His defensive floor is pretty high, and he makes things kind of work. He makes it all connect very well. And the sky's the limit for Con Knipple, and he's got all this usage right now because the Hornets are, once again, without LaMelo Ball. He has an ankle impingement. They're without Brandon Miller, who has a shoulder subluxation that gosh knows how long he's going to be out. I'm being a seasoned Hornets fan at this point, I'm basically expecting he's going to be out for the year. They've said he's going to be kind of on like a 2-week reevaluation timeline. Same thing happened to Trey Mann last year. He missed the entire rest of the season. Con Knipple's been thrust into this extra usage, and he's making the most of it right now.
Here's my official, and I've said this on other shows and other podcasts. My official Con Knipple reaction to this start is the reason why I think many of those stereotypical evaluations and draft grades and everything were given to Con Knipple is because the NBA is, for my money, where the most freakish athletes live, right? I played football. I think best athlete could be you throw somebody 320 pounds, and how do you compare them to some, you can be confused. But the most freakish NBA, right? Guys that are 6'11" and can jump out of the gym and all of these things. And we watched Con Knipple for a full year at Duke. I can remember him attempting dunks a few times, if even that, right? He didn't pop the way that a combine warrior would with the vertical and everything. And because of that, there's just one question, can he keep up foot speed wise with everybody else? And to me, it was pass fail, right? It was very much go, no go. And I said this before the season. I think you would know 15 games in, right? If every single play an opposing team is calling for is to get him on a switch with somebody on the perimeter, then he's going to have a long road to being as effective as he was in college or more so. We're now 10, 11, 12 games in? It hasn't been an issue. And it does not take long for the NBA to figure it out. Every rookie gets put in every action very early on because stars want to score points, and if they can get you in a position where you're uncomfortable, they will continue to do so.
Sorry, go ahead.
Just his pro readiness is unreal. And as soon as you knew the athleticism was there, as soon as you know the foot speed, he wasn't going to get dunked on every time down, I think he's ready-made. He's super polished and ready to go play, and he's knocking down threes, which helps. And he played high-level basketball at Duke, which helps. And now he gets to go, chase things like Rookie of the Year. The one part I would caution there is his role was very much built up due to injuries. I don't know if he's going to get the volume that he's had recently for the rest of the year, if and when some of those other guys get back. And that could tamp down his stats a little bit. And when you're playing for Charlotte, you're not in all the national TV games. You're going to have to be impressive in the box score to get any kind of Rookie of the Year love.
And while we're talking about the Hornets and rookies specifically, you can't overlook Ryan Kalkbrenner.
You literally can. It's too high.
No,
you can't look over.
Yeah, he's massive, 7'1", and just an absolute beast around the rim. And he's had a historic start in terms of his accuracy from the field. I think he had the highest field goal percentage through 10 games for as many shots as he took as anyone has ever had to start their career. And then last night, perfect from the field again, had 17 points and 9 rebounds and 3 blocks. His first game after becoming a father, after him and his wife welcoming in a daughter. He's been incredible as well.
Okay, I'm gonna pair some of the things we've talked about to get today together. Ryan Kalkbrenner, I want to take a video of him playing in the NBA. I want to take his highlight film. Matter of fact, it doesn't have to be a highlight film. I want to take a full game film. Take last night's game. It's practically a highlight film. And show it to 80%, not 90% of the 7-footers in college. Right? And just say, listen, you all don't have to be Kevin Durant. You all don't have to be Giannis. If you have the skill set to be Kevin Durant, if your coach is telling you to dribble like a guard and you're 6'11", 7 foot, they should have to beg you to do it. If not, there's nothing wrong with being Ryan Kalkbrenner and averaging 4 blocks a game and getting rebounds and rolling to the bucket and catch and finish and shooting 80% from the field. You can make a bunch of money doing just that. Rim protection and using your height to your advantage. You don't have to be the ball handler on a pick and roll. And to pair it with another team. One of the concerns I had for UNC basketball this year was, so a season ago, for Tar Heel basketball fans, you know this, last year, at times, Van Allen Lubin was the tallest guy on the floor. He's listed at 6'9". I would assume he's probably 6'8". He can play above his size, as he's going to try to do for NC State a few times this year. But they didn't have an answer when another team just had a back-to-the-basket post. They didn't have an answer when a couple guys got in foul trouble. And because of that, I think they corrected. This offseason, they went and got Henry Vesar from Arizona, a 7-footer. They went and got Jaron Stevenson, 6'10", 6'11", from Alabama. They went and got Caleb Wilson, 6'10"-ish, from the high school ranks, a 5-star, top-ranked whatever. And they brought in all of this size. And the one thing I was worried about was they all feel like modern bigs, right? They all feel like, hey, I can shoot the three, right? Make it rain, let it fly. And I was going, the thing they were missing last year wasn't shooters, right? They had shooters. The thing they were missing was the big dude.
Some real size inside.
Like a 7-footer that played like a 7-footer. Vesar has done it thus far. He's taken, I think, 7 threes through 3 games, hit 3 of them, good percentage. But if you take out the threes, he's like 16 for 20. He's getting good buckets. He has a block a game, including one when he was the back man on a press, and they beat the press, and he just blocked the shot, got it back to the offense, went in the other direction. Like, Kalkbrenner, to me, is a really good beacon for 7-footers out there that aren't described as aliens. And you can be old school in a lot of ways in modern basketball, right? This whole positionless thing, which is, the lineup of death from the Warriors back in the day, positionless basketball, everybody has to be able to handle, everybody has to be able to defend, 1 through 4 or 2 through 5. It's lovely. But if you're 7'2" and you're not a wildly gifted athlete, it's just not you.
And that's when you need to study that Ryan Kalkbrenner tape, because he gets only good looks. He doesn't try to do too much, even though in college he actually did shoot like a decent amount of three-pointers. He hasn't really attempted – I think he's only attempted 1 so far to start the season in the NBA, but he gets good looks around the rim and knows what he can make, and that's why he hits it like 82% or something this season, something ridiculous like that.
Go watch Tyson Chandler clips for a North Carolina guy, Chris Paul, when they were together in New Orleans. Go watch like the non-Kevin Durant 7-footers. And there is a role for that in modern college, modern NBA basketball, and it pays really well. And then, to your point, right, because Kalkbrenner, he has a nice touch, right? Shoots a good free throw. Like, he has some nice, like a nice shooting form. You can Brook Lopez your career. Brook Lopez shot like 103. I'm exaggerating here, but it's pretty darn similar. Like, the first 10 years of his career, he shot like 83s. Now he shoots like hundreds a year because, right, the game changed a little bit, and he's able to develop that. But get really good at the things that only someone your size can do.
83.3% from the field, by the way, so far for Ryan Kalkbrenner, first in the NBA.
Get unbelievably good at the things that only 7-footers can do. And then add to your game once you're established, and you can keep adding every offseason, put a new trick in there. Like Dwight Howard. Now I'm on a tangent, but it's one of my basketball theories. Dwight Howard talks about how he feels his development was stunted because when he was in high school, he's like, I wasn't a center. I was just the most athletic kid on the floor. I did everything, right? I'd grab a rebound and I'd dribble it up and all this. And then he got to the Magic, and they told him, no, we need you to bring the thunder. So that's all he did, right? All he did was dunk, and all he did was catch alley-oops, and all he did was dunk. He's like, and I had more dunks in a season than anyone in the history of the NBA. And they told him to develop a hook shot as a counter to his power game. So he was like, I developed a hook shot, and I was really good. He's like, and then that's where it stopped. That's all he was asked to do in Orlando. And he says it as like this longing, regret, this, I wish I had a more forward-thinking coach that would have asked me to do more, utilize these other things, and he could have been, I don't know, an all-time great, even though he already is, and he should be a Hall of Famer. And my response to that is, what were you doing in the offseason? If you wanted to dribble, work on your handles in the offseason. Like, no coach is going to watch you in practice crossing dudes over and go, I don't like that my 7-footer is an alien. They're going to look at him and say, all right, yeah, do it if it works. Right? Again, I played college football, and I can tell you this. There were routes in our schemes that were 100% decoys. We used to call them PRGs, position, release, goes. What that means is you're running deep for the sole purpose of taking a corner with you, taking a safety with you. And we're running something underneath, and your job is to get that guy out of here. PRGs, position release goes. Our wide receivers used to call it cardio because they hated it. They were running, and they weren't getting the ball. If I threw it to a PRG and he caught it for a touchdown, coach is going to put it into the read, right? Suddenly, it's not a PRG. It's not just a decoy. Suddenly, it's part of the read because it worked. So Ryan Kalkbrenner right now, do what works. Shoot, what'd you say, 83%? It's ridiculous. It's stupid. Do that. And they're going to keep asking you to do more until you're shooting 70%, right? Because that's still good business. They're going to keep asking you to do more, and they're going to keep putting you on the floor, and they're going to keep giving you more minutes, and they're going to keep putting you in the pick and roll with Con Knipple, because like we saw it last year with Kaman Malawash, he can throw a heck of a lob on the PNR, on the pick and roll. And Kalkbrenner, you're just going to catch and dunk and catch and dunk. And down the stretch, down the way, 2 years from now, you show up in training camp knocking down 40% of your threes, they're going to say, lovely, we're adding that to the playbook. And that's the lesson for every 7-footer in college. You don't have to show up as this Victor Wembanyama can do everything freak athlete. You can show up doing what 7-footers do great. You can show up and do what only someone your size can do, and then grow your role over time and get paid handsomely. The issue is if you don't show up doing your role great, and you're trying to show them all these other things you can do, they're not going to put you in the game. Kalkbrenner is going to be playing a lot this year. I don't care who gets healthy, because there's not a lot of people that can do what he do at his size.
Just an awesome rookie class for the Hornets, man. Knipple, Kalkbrenner.
We still haven't really seen McNeely pop off.
Yeah, and Sion James has actually stepped into a bigger role than I think a lot of people expected as well. And like you said, McNeely just kind of barely scratching the surface because he hasn't played a ton, but man, they're contributing big time, especially with, again, injuries just ravaging them again.
Well, when you have 1,000 picks in the first 34 picks, like you should get some good quality additions to your team, which it seems like they have. This has been the Adam Gold Show. You can listen on the 99.9 The Fan app. My name's Tim Donnelly, filling in for Adam today. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. If you did so, please check out The Drive with Tim Donnelly, which is about to start, honestly, on 99.9 The Fan in the Triangle. If you're outside the market, you can track us down on YouTube, the 99.9 The Fan app, which is available in the Google Play or App Store. I always have a blast filling in for Adam. Hopefully you all enjoy it as well. Thank you to Max for keeping us up and running, which is always a big part of it as well. As I said, I believe Adam and Victoria will be back tomorrow to round out the week and send you all off into the weekend the way you should. Other than that, thanks for letting me take over for a little bit. Until next time, have a great day.
Still arguing whether hockey or golf has the tougher dress code? The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan.